recorded. I note that Marco Chavez, Deputy Superintendent, Educational Services Division, is attending on behalf of Superintendent McGee this evening. The board provides remote access for members of the public and welcomes community members joining in person and remotely. The board is following the requirements of Assembly Bill AB 2449, which enables remote participation by board members only under specific circumstances. Would Board Member Gerard like to speak at this time?
Yes, I would. Thank you very much. I am not attending the board meeting in person this evening because I'm acting as a caregiver for a family member this evening. And there are no other people in the room with me, 18 years or older. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Gerard. Would Board Member Alvaro like to speak at this time?
Yes, thank you. I'm attending remotely this evening because I've been really ill and got very little sleep, and so I'm doing my best to participate via Zoom. And thank you for the opportunity to do that. And there's
Thank
no
you,
one
Board
in the
Member.
room with me at all.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Board Member Alvaro. We use simultaneous interpretation in Spanish for those attending virtually through the end of public comment. Translation will continue further into the meeting if people are utilizing the channel. Thank you to our interpreters, Ana Cruz and Kimberly Larios, for joining us remotely. For meeting attendees wishing to access the Spanish translation channel on Zoom, please click on the interpretation button on the menu bar. Tonight, we also have Spanish interpretation for those attending the meeting in person. Thank you to our interpreters, Eva Camacho and Flora Villarreal, for joining us in person. If you are in need of translation and haven't already obtained an interpretation device, please head to the table outside the boardroom for assistance. For both remote and in-person attendance, we will use simultaneous interpretation for the portions of the meeting spoken in English. If there is remote or in-person public comment in Spanish, our in-person interpreter will use consecutive interpretation. The timer will only count down while the comment is being made in Spanish and not during the translation. So in all cases, we ask speakers to be mindful of the Spanish interpretation and to speak slowly and clearly. Item 1B is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. There is a motion to approve the agenda made by Trustee O'Neill and a second by Trustee Bonini. Is there any further discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Ms. Alvaro,
Aye.
Ms. Bonini,
Aye.
Ms. Gerard,
Aye.
Ms. Love, Mr. O'Neill,
Aye.
Mr. Torres.
Aye. The motion passes with a vote of 7-0 and the agenda for tonight's meeting has been approved. Item 2 is public comment. Guidelines for public comment are available on the SMCOE website and in board docs and on the table outside the boardroom in both English and in Spanish. For speakers who require Spanish interpretation for public comment made in English, Ms. Cruz and Ms. Larios, Ms. Camacho, and Ms. Villarreal will provide simultaneous interpretation. For public comment made in Spanish, Ms. Camacho and Ms. Villarreal will translate consecutively. At this time, members of the public may provide comment for topics not included on the approved agenda. The County Board of Education does not act upon any matter that has not been agendized, except under limited circumstances as permitted by law. It is the policy of the County Board to refer matters raised in this forum to the Superintendent for investigation and/or action where appropriate. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, do we have any comments submitted prior to the meeting for topics not on the approved agenda?
Only for item 6.
Thank you. Speakers are invited to make live comment and will use 1 minute to speak. Please keep within the time limits. To make a comment over Zoom, members of the public may use the raise hand feature. Instructions for using this feature are provided as an attachment in the board packet. Once the hand is raised, please wait to be acknowledged by Deputy Superintendent Chavez.
President Torres.
Yes.
I misspoke. We do have 2 comments on items not on the agenda.
My apologies.
So we have Larry Moody and then followed by Janice Pelissari. Yeah, that was fine.
Okay. Good evening, members of the board, trustees. Thank you for your service for San Mateo County. My name is Larry Moody. I serve as the Government Affairs Community Liaison for Job Train, which is a workforce development organization that is celebrating our 60th year in that space, serving individuals throughout San Mateo County. We presently have 7 career centers from South City, Half Moon Bay, North Fair Oaks, East Palo Alto, Menlo Park, Maple Street Correctional Institution, and San Jose. One of the things I wanted to do today is to offer Job Train's story to this board. We would love to bring our CEO and president, Barry Hathaway, here to kind of talk about our accomplishments over the last 60 years. Our program serves individuals from the ages of 17 and above. We have a child care center. We offer career training in culinary arts, building maintenance, construction trade, facility maintenance, IT support. We are trying to help individuals get careers that will be impactful and give them an opportunity to have measurable outcomes here in San Mateo County.
We are at time.
And we would love to have an opportunity to talk to your staff about being a part of your presentation before the end of the school year. Thank you.
Janice Palasari.
Good evening, President Torres, Board Trustees,
Yes.
and Superintendent McGee, but Chavez. I've said that.
Oh, you can hold it.
Okay, okay. It feels like forever since I last addressed all of you. My resolution this school year is to focus on finding the positive in our situation. I've been working to apply the PBIS standards and goals, specifically the idea of identifying 5 positives to every 1 negative. This has become especially important to me because there is always so much happening in our programs. And at the start of the school year, I feel like I have a black cloud hanging over my head. But with the support of my Gateway team, I've made it through and have come out stronger. So here I go. We now have a principal in place at Anna Campbell Center. The staff she supports have shared many positive comments and their appreciation and her help that she provides. More than one member has mentioned that they hope she is getting the support she needs as she becomes more familiar with the special ed issues and processes. K-22 has received wonderful support from Tammy Ziegler and Dr. Jimenez as they kicked off the school year. Tammy's time with us is coming to an end and she will be missed as she goes.
We are at time.
The team also wants to send wishes to Ellen. That's not enough time, President Torres. Okay, there's a lot other ones, but we do need to work on our staffing still.
Thank you. To make a comment over Zoom, members of the public may use the raise hand feature. Instructions for using this feature are provided as an attachment in the board packet. Once the hand is raised, please wait to be acknowledged by Deputy Superintendent Chavez. And just a reminder that speakers will have 1 minute to speak. Please keep within the time limits. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, are there any members of the public attending remotely who wish to make a comment at this time for topics not on the approved agenda?
I do not see any raised hands
Thank you.
at the time.
Members of the public may also provide live comment in person. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, are there any submitted cards for topics not on the approved agenda?
No, not at this time.
Thank you. Public comment addressing a specific agenda item will be heard after the board's discussion on the item. If members of the public wish to speak to a specific agenda item, then please use the raise hand feature when the item is announced, or if in person, submit a card in advance of the item. Cards can be found on the table outside of the boardroom and given to a staff member when completed. Item 3A is the October 2025 Employee of the Month. Lihia Yang, Educational Data Analyst, Research and Systems Planning, Center for Learning Analytics, Educational Services Division. Will Lihia please join me in the middle of the room? So each month, the board and the superintendent recognize an employee for providing outstanding service. For the month of October 2025, we recognize Dr. Likia Yang, Educational Data Analyst, Research and Systems Planning, Center for Learning Analytics, Educational Services Division. Dr. Yang joined the county office in May of 2022, and throughout her 3 years with the organization has demonstrated exceptional teamwork, generosity, and a deep commitment to the success of the team. She consistently puts the needs of the team ahead of her personal convenience and never hesitates to pitch in, even when a task doesn't directly benefit her. So for example, she proactively shares resources she has created, such as the school district boundary maps, to help teammates accomplish their work more efficiently. She can always be counted on to do what's best for the group as a whole, and her collaborative nature has fostered a supportive and respectful environment for everyone around her. Dr. Yang proactively learns new tools and approaches her work with keen awareness of context, stakeholder needs, and team goals. Her contributions have significantly enhanced several key projects, including the Student Threat Assessment Tracking System, District Data Dashboard, and Tsunami Hazard Area County Map. Dr. Yang's professional performance reflects both a strong work ethic and a deep sense of ownership and responsibility. She brings a quiet but profound expertise to the work of the Center for Learning Analytics. When the team is discussing research or findings from another district or county office of education, or a direction to look more deeply into regarding the conditions or performance of students in our county, Dr. Yang listens carefully and then asks exactly the right questions to provide key insight to help the team move in a positive direction. Whether Dr. Yang is stepping in to help a coworker meet a deadline, offering her expertise to others, or helping the team navigate a challenge, she shows an uncommon level of collaboration and dedication. She sincerely celebrates the success of others and uplifts her teammates, never making things about herself. But today it is about you. So Dr. Yang is incredibly easy to work with and actively makes the workplace better for everyone. She has a clear commitment to lifelong learning, having recently completed her certified yoga teacher instruction. And we are proud of our county office staff and are pleased to recognize Likia Yang for her outstanding work. Congratulations for being named Employee of the Month for October 2025. Would you like to say a few words?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, President Torres. Good evening, Deputy Superintendent, members of the board. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this recognition. I want to thank my team and colleagues in the Research and Systems Planning Department. Huge thanks to Jared and Yonghui and my teammates. I think this reflects the team effort. Your huge support and collaboration have played a huge role in this. I'm very grateful to contribute and grow here, and I'm looking forward to continue to do great work together. Thank you so much.
And this is for you. For item 4A, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the October 8th, 2025 regular board meeting as presented?
So moved.
Thank you. There is a motion to approve the minutes of the October 8th, 2025 regular board meeting made by Trustee Bonini and a second by Trustee O'Neill. Is there any further discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Ms. Alvaro,
Aye.
Ms. Benini,
Aye.
Ms. Gerard,
Aye.
Ms. Love, Mr. O'Neill, Mr. Torres.
Aye. The motion passes with a vote of 6-0, and the minutes of the October 8th, 2025 regular board meeting have been approved. Item 5 is the consent agenda. The consent agenda is not debatable and requires a unanimous vote for passage. An item may be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular order of business for separate discussion and action if any member of the board, the superintendent, or the public so requests. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. There is a motion to approve the consent agenda made by Trustee O'Neill and a second by Trustee Love. Is there any further discussion? May I please have a roll call vote?
Ms. Alvaro,
Aye.
Ms. Benini,
Aye.
Ms. Gerard,
Aye.
Ms. Love, Mr. O'Neill,
Aye.
Mr. Torres.
Aye. The motion passes with a vote of 6-0 and the consent agenda has been approved. For item 6A, the county board will conduct a public hearing regarding the initial petition requesting a charter for the Ocean Light School, a county-wide benefit charter school. My name is Hugo Torres, and I am the president of the board and will be acting as the chairperson for this hearing. This hearing will proceed as follows. First, the board will hear an opening statement from the SMCOE staff for no more than 10 minutes. Second, the Ocean Light School charter petitioners will be given the opportunity to present, also for no more than 10 minutes. Third, representatives from the affected school districts, including Bayshore Elementary, Brisbane, Burlingame, Jefferson Elementary, Jefferson Union High, Pacifica, San Bruno Park, and South San Francisco Unified, have been offered the opportunity to comment on the request, also for no more than 10 minutes each. For staff, petitioner, and district presentations, we will advise when there are 2 minutes left and when time is up. Please make sure to keep within the time limits. Fourth, the board will be given the opportunity to ask clarifying questions to any and all parties. I ask the board to be mindful of giving all districts and presenters the same amount of time and reserve the questions for the end. So fifth, the board will hear public comment. Each speaker will be limited to 1 minute. Please keep within the time limits. Speakers shall direct their comments to the board and are urged to hold all applause until the end of public comment and avoid repeating points made by previous speakers. I will now turn it over to our attorney.
Good evening, everyone. We really appreciate all of the public interest and participation in this evening's proceedings. In order to give all parties an opportunity to share their presentations and to make public comment, we will be strictly enforcing the time limits that have been set forth by President Torres. We ask that all attendees here remain respectful of this process so as not to disrupt the orderly conduct of this hearing. The board very much wants to hear from all of you. So I wanted to share a disclaimer that we will be reserved the right for Government Code Section 54957.9 to ensure orderly proceedings and to remove individuals or groups who disrupt that process and make it impossible for us to proceed in an orderly manner. We thank you so much for your participation and just your cooperation in this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Cho. At the conclusion of public comment, the public hearing will be closed and the board anticipates reconvening to act on the separate request at its December 17th, 2025 meeting. So at this time, I call upon Marco Chavez, a Deputy Superintendent, Educational Services Division, to introduce the SMCOE staff.
Coordinator, District Improvement and Support, with guidance from Deputy Counsel Lisa Cho. Executive Director Dardanelle will provide an opening statement highlighting information from the charter petition as well as education code that guides this process. So Executive Dardanelle.
Good evening, President Torres, members of the board, Deputy Superintendent Chavez, staff, and community. We are here this evening for the public hearing on the Ocean Light School petition for a county-wide benefit charter school. On September 18th, 2025, North Peninsula Charter School, Inc., DBA Ocean Light School, submitted a charter petition seeking approval from the San Mateo County Board of Education to establish and operate Ocean Light School, a public charter school for county-wide benefit. In August 2026, the Ocean Light School petitioners plan to serve 236 students ages 4 to 14 in grades TK through 8. They also plan to grow the school to approximately 488 students by adding a second and possibly third location by year 5. The petitioners anticipate the school's target school demographic will reflect cultural, linguistic, and socioeconomic diversity and include students with unique educational needs. Per the petitioners, the school will include 25% English learners, 42% socioeconomically disadvantaged students, 14% students with disabilities, and 2% homeless and foster youth. The petitioners additionally anticipate the student body will be reflective of the racial and ethnic distribution of the northern region of the county, 42% Hispanic, 19% Filipino, 16% Asian, as well as other racial groups. The Ocean Light School petitioners plan to primarily serve students from the northern communities of San Mateo County, including Pacifica, Daly City, Colma, San Bruno, South San Francisco, Brisbane, and Bayshore, with recruitment for the 2026-27 school year focused on attracting students from Pacifica, Daly City, and San Bruno to be served at a site within 2 to 3 miles of the intersection of Hickey Boulevard and Skyline Boulevard. At the 5-year mark, the petitioners plan to expand the school to a multi-site campus with second and potentially third locations in downtown South San Francisco and/or Burlingame near Coyote Point. California Education Code Section 47605.6b states, no later than 60 days after receiving a petition, the County Board of Education shall hold a public hearing on the provisions of the charter, at which time the county board shall consider the level of support for the petition by teachers, parents, or guardians, and the school districts where the charter school petitioner proposes to place school facilities. In connection with their petition, Ocean Light Schools sent notification letters to 7 school districts where they may be considering operating a facility. However, we note that although the petition contemplates a potential future Burlingame campus at page 203, Burlingame School District did not receive a notification letter. SMCOE has communicated with the affected districts via their superintendents, including Burlingame School District, and each will participate in the hearing tonight in some manner. An important note regarding the review and granting or denial of a county benefit charter petition is that Education Code Section 47605.6b states, a county board of education may grant a charter for the operation of a charter school under this part only if it's satisfied that granting the charter is consistent with sound educational practice and that the charter school has reasonable justification for why it could not be established by a petition to a school district. Further, Education Code Section 47605.6 states, a county board of education may approve a county-wide charter only if it finds that the educational services to be provided by the charter school will offer services to the pupil population that will benefit from those services and that cannot be served as well by a charter school that operates in only one school district in the county. SMCOE staff has begun its preliminary analysis following the California Education Code and the board's guidelines in Board Policy 0420.4. A full staff report, including analysis, will be completed and posted to the SMCOE website on December 2nd, 15 days prior to the board's decision, as required by law. At its regularly scheduled meeting on December 17th, the county board will hold a final public hearing and take action on the Ocean School Charter petition. This concludes SMCOE's staff's opening statement.
Thank you, Executive Director Dardanelle, for the presentation. For item 6B, the board will receive a presentation from the Ocean Light Charter School petitioner with a 10-minute maximum. Dr. Kelly Mendoza, Don Burdett, Liling Peng, and Jennifer Xu will be speaking on behalf of the petitioners. I ask that petitioners for Ocean Light School please proceed to the podium.
Good evening, President Torres, trustees, Deputy Superintendent Chavez, and community members here tonight. My name is Dr. Kelly Mendoza, and I'm a founding member of Ocean Light School, a school for the planet and the future. Ocean Light School is a proposed TK-8 public school to serve San Mateo County, a place where learning is alive, connected, and full of purpose. Our mission is to help children grow into curious, oh, next slide. Our mission is to help curious children grow. Oh, that was on me. Thank you. Thanks, Dawn. Grow into curious, capable, and compassionate problem solvers, students who don't just learn about the world, but how to care for it. At Ocean Light, students will learn through hands-on project-based experiences that connect science, art, literacy, and math to the real world. They'll study tide pools and tree canopies, design solutions to community challenges, and apply what they learn beyond classroom walls. Next slide. The world our students are stepping into is changing fast with new technologies, new challenges, and new opportunities. Our job as educators is to prepare them, not just to keep up, but to lead. We're building a school for today's learners and tomorrow's challenges. A place where children grow the habits of mind and courage of heart that will make them future ready. Trustees, you'll hear many perspectives tonight, but your decision should rest on evidence, not interpretation. Our petition executive summary clearly lays out that evidence as you consider what is best for students countywide. Research shows that this model of learning, hands-on, connected, and purposeful, helps students not only master academic skills, but prepares them with the creativity, resilience, and empathy that they'll need in the years ahead. Research also shows that TK-8 schools outperform traditional K-5 and middle school models, fostering stronger student growth, belonging, and leadership. Ocean Light's model is grounded in research and draws inspiration from proven models, including the former K-8 Ocean Shore School in Pacifica, where experiential learning deepened engagement, Quail Lake Environmental Charter School in Clovis, which closes achievement gaps through environmental education, and San Carlos Charter Learning Center, one of California's most enduring examples of project-based learning. Next, Ocean Light board member Dawn Burdett will share how Ocean Light aligns with San Mateo County's goals and priorities.
Thank you, Dr. Mendoza. Good evening. It's good to see you all again. Ocean Light supports the same priorities that guide the San Mateo County Office of Education. We share the same goals. That's beautiful. Those goals are equity, environmental literacy, social-emotional learning, and innovation. As county trustees, your responsibility is to make these priorities real for all students, not just within districts, but across the entire county. Next slide, please. Oh, it's yeah, thank you. First, let's talk about equity. In northern San Mateo County, families have almost no innovative TK-8 public options. Out of more than 30 children learn in nature, they learn to care for it. Third, emotional learning. We teach both the head and the heart. Ocean Light's program is aligned with the county's whole child, whole community vision. And we bring California's T-cell competencies into daily practice to nurture confident, compassionate, and collaborative learners who contribute positively to their communities. Next slide, please. Fourth, and finally, innovation. This isn't about nostalgia or recreating the past. It's about using a proven school foundation for innovation, building a countywide offering that embodies what's possible when rigorous academics are connected to relevance, relationships, and real-world purpose. By aligning with these priorities, Ocean Light will serve as a hub for collaboration, sharing environmental curriculum, hosting teacher learning days, and inspiring student projects that ripple across districts, strengthening the county's capacity to educate the whole child. Ocean Light board member and lead petitioner Li-Ling Pang will now explain why Ocean Light's petition meets the criteria for countywide benefit.
Good evening. A countywide charter is approved when its services benefit students who cannot be served as well by a single district charter. That's exactly what Ocean Light does. First, Ocean Light expands the table. We will provide a unique alternative. Many schools add on a STEAM lab here, a garden there, on SEL block once a week. What makes Ocean Light distinctive is that we weave all of these threads together into one coherent TK to 8 model. Environmental learning, project-based work, families and teachers fully integrated every day. There's nothing like Ocean Light in North County. Unfortunately, individual districts are struggling to sustain innovative programs within tight budgets. These are often the first to fade, not from lack of success, but from lack of scale. Ocean Light removes barriers. A spark has been lit in Pacifica, and this is a chance to harness its light for students across the county. From Daly City to Pacifica to South San Francisco, families are just a few miles apart, yet invisible district lines decide who can and who cannot access innovative learning. That's why Ocean Light must be countywide, to connect the dots across districts and make innovative education accessible to every family. Our multi-site model ensures equity and place-based learning. It's how we make learning both local and linked, rooted in each community, yet united by one shared vision. Next slide. A county-wide charter will maximize benefits and minimize impact. You'll hear concerns tonight that Ocean Light could harm district budgets. But remember, public per-pupil funding is meant to follow students. Families deserve to choose the programs that best meet their needs. By approving a countywide charter, no one district will bear the full effect of a new school. Ocean Light will be zip code blind in our enrollment. As we execute our outreach plans, enrollment and funding will naturally spread across several districts, minimizing strain while maximizing benefit. Ocean Light will keep more students in public education. Next, board member Jennifer Sue will now highlight the strength of our community support.
Ocean Light is not an abstract idea. It's a community-driven effort with strong and growing support. As you can see by the sea of blue here today, this represents families, teachers, and community members who are eager for a public school that gives their children hands-on experiential learning and connects them to the environment and the community. A charter petition requires parents' signatures for 50% of first-year enrollment, and in just 10 days, we received signatures for over 300 students in 8 different school districts and 12 zip codes in San Mateo County. These signatures are actual students all across grade levels intending to enroll at Ocean Light next year, exceeding 100% of our first-year enrollment. To support this level of enrollment, 10 teachers are required. However, 15 with deep experience have already signed our petition. They want to be part of the team. The community is behind us. We've already discussed partnerships with the HEAL Project, Pacifica Beach Coalition, New Sun Road, SEI, and many others, which will give students authentic field-based opportunities from day one. Our founding team, board, advisors, and consultants collectively have experience in education, leadership, school operations, and finance. They've proven to successfully run a school like Ocean Light. Our operations plan, including finances and compliance, was developed in collaboration with charter school back office firm EdTech, ensuring strong budgeting, compliance, and multi-year stability. We're ready to partner with you all to build something exceptional, a school that reflects your values and vision. The ocean thrives because of its diversity: coral reefs, kelp forests, whales, and plankton, each keeping the whole ecosystem alive. Our public education is much the same. It stays healthy when there are many kinds of schools, each serving students in unique and essential ways. As trustees, you are the stewards of that ocean, shaping the tides of opportunity for every child in San Mateo County. Change can feel like a wave, powerful, even disruptive, but waves also renew and restore, stirring life and possibility. We ask you to keep your eyes on the horizon. Approving Ocean Light strengthens the long-term health of our public education, bringing balance, choice, and resilience to students all across San Mateo County. Ocean Light, a school for the planet and future.
Thank you.
Just quick comment, trustees, there's a correction on a mislabeled table, example 4 in our charter petition. Thank you, Brisbane School District, for pointing that out. So we just wanted to hand you the correction.
Thank you for the correction, and thank you to the petitioners for the presentation and for keeping within the time limits. For item 6C, the board will receive presentation and responses from districts with a 10-minute maximum per district. I ask that any district representatives who approach the podium but have not been introduced, please state for the record their name and association with the district before speaking. So first, we have Bayshore Elementary School District. Please come to the podium at this time. Bhavna Narula, Superintendent, who will be speaking for the district.
Good evening, President Torres and esteemed San Mateo County Board of Education. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Bhavna Narula, and I come to you on behalf of my community of students, families, and educators, not just as the proud superintendent of Bayshore School District, but as someone deeply committed to ensuring that every child, particularly those historically underserved and at promise, receive the education they deserve. I stand before you to express our strong opposition to the Ocean Light Charter petition to provide an explanation as to why this petition does not meet the criteria for a countywide charter. Number one, lack of countywide need. Do we have a countywide need for this charter? The answer, based on both data and lived experiences in our district, is no. Ocean Light proposes to serve North San Mateo County and beyond, but the petition provides no concrete evidence showing that Bayshore School District or any of the surrounding districts named in this petition cannot adequately serve students. Our district already offers a high-quality TK-8 education with strong evidence-based literacy programs, STEAM initiatives, career and technical education pathways rooted in a climate of inclusion where every student feels connected, capable, and cared for. Student voice is central, and data-informed decision-making is at the core of our district. These programs are designed to meet the diverse needs of all of our learners, including those who may need additional Tier 2 and Tier 3 support academically and socially. Robust, culturally responsive, comprehensive programs and passionate educators that are invested in every single student's learning and growth are the hallmarks of a great district like Bayshore. There is no gap that requires countywide charter intervention. Specifically, the petition does not identify specific gaps in educational services within the county or provide data on student performance or unmet needs that would justify the establishment of a new charter school countywide. The petition inaccurately represents cherry-picked student data related to the now closed Ocean Shore School to establish a false causation merely because some data points may be correlated. Statistically, correlation does not imply causation. In addition, the petition also frames itself as a county-wide solution, yet the evidence suggests otherwise. The organizing team appears to be a group of Pacifica parents dissatisfied with the closure of Ocean Shore School in Pacifica School District, as stated in the petition itself. While parent voice is important, a county-wide charter is not intended to cater to the preference of a handful of families. This is a Pacifica-based issue best resolved by working collaboratively with Pacifica School District. A county-wide charter is intended to address systemic gaps and provide access to students who cannot be adequately served by existing schools. The Ocean Light petition does not demonstrate this based on the evidence just presented. Number two, equity concerns in the Ocean Light petition. While the Ocean Light petition mentions serving underserved populations, you just heard the percentages, it lacks specific plans to ensure equitable access and outcome for English learners. The petition does not detail how it will support English learners, including staffing, concrete plans for English language development, curriculum and instruction, or assessment strategies. For students with disabilities, there is no clear plan for educating students with special needs, including IEP implementation, and no detail on programs that meet the needs of students with disabilities and provide access to rigor and standards-based instruction in least restrictive environments. For low-income students, the petition does not outline strategies for recruiting and retaining low-income students, nor does it address potential barriers to enrollment for these families. It is abundantly clear from the lack of any detail or attention to equity beyond broad platitudes to serving subgroups of students that serving these students is an afterthought and not the central focus of Ocean Light's petition for a countywide charter purportedly to provide choice. There is no staffing plan, no assessment framework, no focus on curriculum and instruction, and no accountability measures to ensure students actually receive the support promised. This is a false choice. Let me make this real. It means that a student like Amira, who's learning English and is on her way to reading fluently, might not get the tailored instruction she needs. It means a student like Javier, who relies in specialized math and reading support through his IEP and is successful in all his classes, could face gaps in services that are critical for his success. And it means that students from low-income families may encounter barriers to access with no plan in the petition to recruit or retain them. Without explicit plans and measurable goals, the charter risks serving a disproportionate number of more advantaged students, exacerbating existing inequities. Number 3, facility, governance, and financial concerns with the charter. Critical concern is facility and readiness. The Ocean Light petition describes plans to secure a facility, but specifics are vague. A new charter opening without a confirmed and appropriate site and a solid financial plan is a significant risk. The board should consider whether the proposed charter can realistically provide a stable learning environment from day one. It is important to note that the petition lacks clear governance and accountability measures. While it mentions a board of directors, a founding team, and advisory council, roles, responsibilities, and decision-making processes are not fully clarified. Without strong governance, there is no guarantee that the school will operate in a transparent or accountable manner, especially regarding equity and instructional quality. The financial plan presented is preliminary and does not include detailed multi-year projections, cash flow assumptions, or contingencies. This is concerning because any shortfall could jeopardize both the new school and the surrounding districts that lose funding. Public charter schools are funded based on student enrollment. So siphoning students without demonstrated need could undermine the financial stability of our existing schools. Sustaining our evidence-based and specialized programs will be challenging in this scenario. Student access and success are at risk here. In conclusion, approving the Ocean Light Charter could establish a charter without demonstrated countywide need, divert resources from existing programs that effectively serve students, risk exacerbating education inequities due to lack of concrete equity plans, and prioritize the preference of a small group over the needs of a broader student population. Let me be clear. This is not a critique of innovative teaching or of parents advocating for their children. Innovation and parent engagement are vital in public education, but county-wide public charter authorization must be grounded in evidence of systemic need, equity, and the capacity to serve students responsibly. Ocean Light's petition falls short on all these fronts. We urge the board to carefully consider these factors and deny the Ocean Light Charter petition. We thank you for your time and commitment to ensuring equitable and high-quality education for all the students in San Mateo County. Thank you very much.
Brisbane School District, please come to the podium at this time. Michael Milliken, Interim Superintendent, will be speaking for the district.
Good evening, President Torres and Board of Education. My name is Michael Milliken, the Interim Superintendent of Brisbane School District. I'm here at the direction of the Brisbane School Board of Education to deny the Ocean Light Charter petition for 4 reasons. First, the petition misrepresents the state of public education in the North County. Second, Ocean Light is intended to serve a small group of Pacifica families, not San Mateo County as a whole, or even the North County. Third, the petitioners are attempting, at least in spirit, to convert a Pacifica public school into a charter school, contrary to Ed Code. And fourth, the petitioners are misusing this county-level charter process for what is really a district-level matter. To my first point, the petitioners misrepresent programs and outcomes at North County school districts to make it seem like a charter school will better serve Brisbane students, but their facts are wrong. Ocean Light's petition incorrectly labels local districts, including Brisbane, as failing in certain performance areas. The errors are circled in pink, in which the petition wrongly labels 3 school districts as failing. in the red or lowest performance category. Neither Pacifica nor San Bruno Park is failing in ELA or mathematics. Here are the screenshots of the 2024 dashboard for all students. And here is the screenshot for Brisbane in 2024. In fact, Brisbane's academic performance in these areas exceeds the standard for all students. Brisbane's math and ELA programs are working. The petitioners have fabricated an area of need in our opinion. Since my submission of these slides last week, lead petitioner Ms. Pang emailed me a correction to the table on page 16, maintaining that it is simply mislabeled. The petitioners now claim that this chart accurately represents the performance of English learners rather than all students and should be identical to the English learner table on page 136. So I'd encourage you, if you can, go to page 136 in your petition. So I'll go back to slide 2 and analyze the table as if it were the table on page 136, representing the performance of English learners as the petitioners now maintain. The table has 50 squares that are meant to show that Ocean Shore similar charter schools better serve English learners compared to North County school districts. However, 21 of the 50 squares of this table are mislabeled, and those errors are not randomly distributed. Rather, they contribute to a false narrative that Ocean Shore and the charters are high performing and the public school districts are low performing. Specifically, there are 20 squares for Ocean Shore and the charter schools, 4 schools, 5 performance indicators. 14 of those 20 squares are mislabeled. Of the 8 blue squares for Ocean Shore and the charters, representing the highest performance level, 6 of those squares are wrong. Of the 6 red squares for the North County school districts, representing the lowest performance level, the ones that I circled previously in pink, still wrong. So in sum, this table has an overall error rate of 42%, but that error rate increases to 75% when the petitioners are representing charter school success. And the error rate increases from 42 to 67% when they represent North County school district's failures, or red squares. As such, the table on page 136 is dangerously inaccurate and misleading. Finally, examining the progress of English learners in these charter schools caused me to consider the number of English learners that they serve. These 3 charter schools, after which Ocean Light intends to model itself, average 7% English learners, 12% socioeconomically disadvantaged students, and 6% students with disabilities. These are far below San Mateo County averages, stated expectations. I would argue that having these schools as models is not reflective of county interests. Back to slide 5. The petition similarly states that Ocean Light will offer a variety of programs not currently offered at North County Public Schools. But this too is a misrepresentation. The petition claims that Panorama Elementary School in the Brisbane School District does not offer certain programs that are, in fact, fully integrated into the curriculum. Environmentalism is an integral part of our science curriculum, and Panorama is the recent beneficiary of a $2 million public utilities grant to redesign its landscape to provide for permeable surfaces and outdoor learning spaces. Panorama does indeed have overnight field trips via outdoor education. Panorama has been developing its project-based learning curriculum for the last 3 years. Panorama uses common sense media curricular materials to teach digital and media literacy. And for social emotional learning, Brisbane has a robust social emotional learning program, SEL, with ongoing professional learning for our staff. In sum, our schools already provide much of what Ocean Light proposes to offer as distinctive program features. To my second point, Education Code states that, quote, a county board of education may approve a countywide charter only if it finds that the educational services to be provided by the charter school will offer services to a pupil population that cannot be served as well by a charter school that operates in only one school district in the county. Ocean Light School's target population is families in the Pacifica School District, and a Pacifica-based charter school would serve that population just as well. Therefore, the county board must deny the petition under this code. For slide 7, there's clear evidence in the petition that Ocean Light is meant to serve Pacifica families, not families across North San Mateo County. This slide outlines evidence to that claim. Therefore, there is no benefit to granting a countywide charter petition instead of instructing the petitioners to seek approval from the Pacifica School Board. Slide 8, likewise, because Ocean Light is not targeting an unmet need in Brisbane, Brisbane families are not interested in Ocean Light. If there is little interest from families in Brisbane and more broadly on the bay side of San Mateo County, there is no reason to grant a countywide charter petition. Slide 9. Ocean Light asserts that it will offer programming that is currently lacking across North San Mateo County, but Brisbane already offers it. Stewardship programming, experiential project-based learning, STEAM curriculum, and social emotional learning. We have an award-winning sustainability program, and we recently sent 7 staff, including all 3 principals, to a national project-based learning conference this past summer. As such, Ocean Light is not needed at the county level. To my third point, Ed Code states that, quote, an existing public school shall not be converted to a charter school. The petitioners are attempting to convert Ocean Shore School into a charter school. Nearly 70% of the board and founding team of Ocean Light have documented ties to Ocean Shore, and 80% of the teacher signatories for Ocean Light are connected with Ocean Shore. The petitioner's express goal is to create a new and improved Ocean Shore School. Quoting the executive summary on page 10, Ocean Light School was founded in response to the loss of a beloved K-8 public school. We honor Ocean Shore Schools' core strengths and extend them, end quote. At minimum, granting this petition would violate the spirit of the Ed Code that prohibits converting a public school into a charter school. To my fourth and final point, this petition and the issues the petitioners hope to address belong in front of the Pacifica School District Board of Trustees, not this board. This board has full authority to deny this petition, quote, on any basis, end quote, it deems appropriate. Denial is appropriate here because this is a Pacifica-focused petition. This petition is not the result of countywide demand. Rather, it is the product of a school reorganization process in the Pacifica School District that left a group of teachers, residents, and families feeling wronged and unheard. The petitioners have legitimate interests, and they can and should have their interests addressed. But these are school-level and district-level concerns that should be addressed with the Pacifica School District, either 1, within the framework of their legal dispute, or 2, via a school district charter application. I'll stop there because I see I've come up to my time. Thank you.
Burlingame School District, please come to the podium at this time. Marla Silversmith, Superintendent, will be speaking for the district.
Marla, would a microphone there work for you?
Yes, and you can have that chair as well.
Thank you for the accommodation. All right. Good evening, trustees. My name is Dr. Marla Silversmith. I'm the superintendent of the Burlingame School District. Thank you. I requested the opportunity to address the board and raise an important procedural defect in the countywide charter petition submitted by Ocean Light petitioners and the failure of the county staff to halt the procedures applicable and the consideration of the Education Code 4765.6 details the specific procedures that must be followed if a petitioner seeks to submit a petition to establish a countywide charter. This section unequivocally states that before a petition to establish a countywide charter may be submitted to a county board of education, each of the school districts where the charter school petitioner proposes to operate a facility must be provided with at least 30 days notice of the petitioner's intent to operate a charter school. This is an objective, a procedural requirement that must be met and verified by the county before initiating the petitioner review timelines. This did not happen for our district. And despite recognizing this omission, county staff failed to discontinue the process and reject the petition. It's important to provide the timeline of events that took place leading up to this evening's public hearing, so the county board is fully aware of the circumstances supporting Burlingame School District's opposition. On August 7th, 2025, by email, Ocean Light notified 7 school districts of its intent to submit a countywide charter petition and that it was proposing to operate facilities within those school districts or respective boundaries. It's also my understanding that the county office received the petition on September 7th, 2025. Nearly 2 weeks later, I attended a meeting during which the county petition was discussed. Deputy Superintendent Marco Chavez participated in that meeting and confirmed that only 7 North County school districts were named in that petition and all received notices from the petitioners. On October 2nd, Mr. Chavez sent letters to each of the 7 school districts. This letter provided separate notification from county office that the petition had been submitted. It was listed a series of dates for the consideration and action and petition of the date of tonight's public hearing and details for the impacted school districts regarding the opportunity to present during the hearing and submit supporting documentation. Burlingame did not receive this letter. Then on October 13th, 2025, Mr. Chavez emailed me and shared upon further review of this petition, county staff discovered that our district was specifically named as a possible location for a charter school facility. The phrase Burlingame campus was identified in bold in the petition as a second or third location for the charter school. Mr. Chavez stated that Burlingame was not identified as a district of interest for the initial campus, but wanted to make sure I was aware that Burlingame was selected as a potential future site. When I responded that day and informed Mr. Chavez that I had not been notified of this future location, he stated that he was notifying me now and that the petitioners did not identify Burlingame as the location for its initial campus, but that it was identified as a possible second or third location in the future. Importantly, following this exchange of emails, Mr. Chavez confirmed that Burlingame, quote, should have received a letter from the petitioners as they are required to notify all school districts if they intend to request any facilities or areas. The petitioners reported that they reached out to all 7 school districts and Burlingame was not included, end quote. I received a link to the copy of the petition that afternoon from Mr. Chavez after I requested it. 3 days later, on October 16th, 2025, Mr. Chavez reached out and notified me that if Burlingame wanted to submit documents or a slide deck for tonight's presentation for this hearing, we would have to do it that day. When my assistant contacted Mr. Chavez, he agreed to extend that deadline to the next day. However, this did not provide our district with any time or opportunity whatsoever to review the petition, consult with our board, or prepare any slides or other documentation to include with the county board agenda's materials for tonight. This is unacceptable and failed to afford our district with any advance written notice required under the law. To be clear, EDCO does not make a distinction regarding the specific time frame for notifying potentially impacted districts. Just because the petitioners identified certain locations for an initial campus does not mean that only those impacted districts were entitled to the advance notice. This does not matter whether a location in Burlingame's boundaries is the first, second, or third facilities locations proposed by the petitioners in this petition. The law requires the petitioners provide advance written notice to each of the school districts where the charter school petitioner proposes to operate a facility, period. Mr. Chavez fully acknowledged this procedural deficit in his email in correspondence with me, yet nothing has been done about it. Upon learning of this defect, county staff should have halted the review, rejected the petition based on that procedural defect, and required the petitioners to reissue all notices to all affected districts with at least 30 days prior to resubmitting the petition. This has never happened. It's both disappointing and shocking county staff has decided to allow this review to move forward despite the clear procedural flaw by the petitioners. It not only affects the failure of county staff to adhere to the legal mandates under the Ed Code for countywide charter petitions, it also demonstrates the sheer lack of regard of interest to our district. These notice procedures are not suggestions or recommendations. They're required by law to be performed so the districts have an opportunity to review the proposed petition, meaningfully evaluate any potential impacts to my district or other considerations, meet with my educational partners who are here tonight, and have sufficient time to prepare remarks for our position with our county board's consideration. We were completely stripped of this opportunity. While I don't intend to speak to the substance of the petition, given the lack of notice and time to perform a comprehensive review, I do implore our county board to reject this petition as submitted based on this procedural failure. If the petitioners desires to pursue a countywide charter, they must follow the rules by providing the requisite advance notice to all districts whose boundaries they propose to operate facilities before resubmitting this petition. If Burlingame's request is not honored and the current petition does move forward, we'll be submitting a formal letter to the county board and consulting with council regarding our other available options. Thank you.
Jefferson Elementary School District, please come to the podium at this time. Josie Peterson, Assistant Superintendent, Business Services, will be speaking for the district.
Thank you. Good evening, President and members of the San Mateo County School Board of Education. My name is Josie Peterson, and I serve as the Assistant Superintendent of Business Services for the Jefferson Elementary School District. I'm here tonight to speak on behalf of Superintendent Sandy McCulloch, who is regrettably unable to attend due to our regularly scheduled board meeting. For the same reason, our Jefferson Elementary School Board trustees are also unable to attend, but they have sent letters to the board members prior to this meeting, and I have also brought hard copies with me tonight. We are here to address the petition proposing the establishment of the Ocean Light Charter School. While we respect the concept of school choice, we believe this petition must be denied because it fails to demonstrate a compelling case of serving a true county interest. The evidence within the petition strongly suggests a hyper-local focus concentrated in Pacifica, and it is our contention that this local effort is seeking an unnecessary county remedy. A county charter must serve an interest that cannot be met by a district charter, and given the petition's lack of demonstrated county-wide need, this group should be working through the Pacifica School District. We must also be absolutely clear about the severe financial and operational implications this charter, if approved and located within our boundaries, would have on our existing community and students. I have also brought tonight a letter from the president of the Jefferson Elementary School District American Federation of Teachers, underscoring the gravity of this potential impact. The AFT president raises specific concerns that go to the heart of our mission. PK-8 model that duplicates services Jefferson Elementary School District already provides, particularly at Franklin D. Roosevelt School, meaning no gap in service would be filled. It threatens to fragment our community, divert public funds, and destabilize the supporting and learning environments we have worked hard to build. The inevitable cuts resulting from this funding diversion will make it harder for the educators to do their jobs and meet increasing student needs, directly harming teaching and learning conditions. The Jefferson Elementary School District operates under the local control funding formula. Our revenue is tied to our enrollment figures. The establishment of a new charter school will inevitably lead to a decrease in the number of students attending Jefferson Elementary School District, resulting in a direct and significant loss of state funding. This funding pays for teachers, counselors, special education staff, and essential student support programs. Our district is already navigating a challenging fiscal landscape and is currently managing a budget shortfall. Adding a guaranteed reduction in revenue would be detrimental, forcing us to make substantial cuts to critical staffing, student support programs, and essential services across our schools. Granting county authorization for what is essentially a local, duplicative effort undermines the intent of the Education Code. We respectfully urge the board to weigh the potential impact on the county-wide resources against the certain severe and negative financial impact and instructional consequences this petition holds for the stability and solvency of the Jefferson Elementary School District. For these reasons concerning the lack of true county interests, the duplication of services, and the severe fiscal impact on our public schools, we are urging the San Mateo County School Board of Education to deny the petition. Thank you for your time and careful consideration of our financial sustainability.
The Jefferson Union High School District is not present tonight, but submitted a letter that was included in the board packet. Pacifica School District, please come to the podium at this time. Laverne Villalobos, Board Member, Martha Ladd, Interim Deputy Superintendent, and Carla Torres, Interim Director, Educational Support Services, will be speaking for the district.
Good evening, and here we are. My name is Martha Ladd. I'm the Interim Deputy Superintendent of Pacifica School District, and I am here with Dr. Carla Chavez Torres, Interim Executive Director of Educational Support Services, and Laverne Villalobos, a member of the Pacifica School District Board of Education. We are here tonight to discuss our opposition to the petitioner's request to create a county charter. And as you know and have heard, the county board has broad discretion to deny this petition for any basis that the board finds justifies the denial. Additionally, the county-wide charter as proposed must demonstrate that it will offer services to students that cannot be served as well by a charter school that operates in only one school district in the county. And we will show, as others have shown, the petition fails here. It is an attempt to duplicate a public school model that, in fact, still exists in Pacifica. The purpose of a county charter is to provide opportunity to all county students. This county charter is not set up to serve underserved students specifically, or especially in a county like San Mateo, where all county students will have priority, not just North County students. Even the noted transportation claim in the application typically is not an issue for the affluent students that exist all across our county. As such, this petition will fail on that count as well. If this petition was really interested in targeting underserved students, it would not be seeking a county charter. Overview. Our key assertion is the proposed charter does not offer new or innovative programs. It replicates programs already implemented within Pacifica School District, and approving the charter would divert funding from existing public schools without adding unique educational value. As noted by the petitioner's admissions priorities, it is clear that the aim to duplicate a public school that already exists and programs that are already in place and thriving in Pacifica. Therefore, approving the charter would divert funding from existing public schools without adding unique educational value. I think really to understand how it's important to kind of understand how we got here. Like many districts in California, Pacifica had been adjusting to ongoing declining enrollment related to declining birth rates and out of county and state attrition. Since 2019, this decline has been 14+%, or around 450 students. This decline and its financial impact was masked by COVID funding, and further enrollment decline and is projected to continue through 2031-32. An inability or reluctance to respond to declining enrollment resulted in structural budget deficits beginning in 2019. In 2024, the board took action to bring the district into fiscal health, guided by 3 goals: no more structural budget deficit, enhance student programs, and consider future compensation for our employees. The reorganization resulted in reducing 2 of our K-8s to K-5s, and co-locating 1 of our K-8s after reducing it to a K-5 to another K-5 school. So Ocean Shore has been moved to Sunset Ridge. The 2 schools exist on one campus, sharing resources. I noted that someone had, or a couple of our colleagues had noted that the school had been closed. It actually has not been closed. We started 2024-25 with 6 schools. We ended 2024-25 with 6 schools, and we opened the school year with 6 schools. Again, the admissions preferences target Pacifica schools and Pacifica students among our 6 schools. Um, this, we had a $3.5 million deficit that we were working with last year, and the changes that we made that I just described actually brought us into fiscal health. We managed to exceed our revenue percentage, which would allow us to meet our third goal, which would be to consider future compensation for our employees. Moving the number of students that was talked about here would be about $2.6 million. 300 students would put us right back where we were in terms of a budget deficit. As I mentioned, they are primarily targeting Pacifica students. It will undermine the fiscal health, the educational opportunities of all Pacifica students. We achieved something really important last year. We used a novel and a unique approach called co-location to keep a school, its culture, its teachers, and its students together as best we could. And we recognized that it was not, we did not make everybody happy, that it was a difficult decision, and we are still working through that with our families and working through what that means for the future. But it does represent an opportunity, and we do remain fiscally sound. Look at the data. We are proud of Ocean Shore School, and we are proud that it still exists. It is a good school, and it has had good tests. It has strong test scores, and it has made important strides from this year and in the years following. It has made strides in improving among its students' population. So. It is a school where teachers, students, and families work hard together, and students are improving across their subgroups. We also noted that the information on this slide provided by the petitioners definitely skewed towards the north side of the county, showing that attempting to demonstrate that there was a need for a TK-8 in the North County. However, when we look at it, we actually see that there's a higher concentration of students able to attend TK-8 schools in the North County as opposed to in the Central County or in the South County. Does Pacifica need a charter school? Pacifica, here are some of Pacifica's highlights from TK-8 programming. We do have a lot of solid partnerships. We have thematic and interdisciplinary learning, hands-on project-based learning, a green campus culture, school gardens, indoor and outdoor learning spaces. We maintain robust programs, content experiences, and resources across all of our campuses. And when we compare programs, all of this need that they have is directed, all of the need that is directed at their admission priorities, with the exception of homeless and foster youth in the county, does not really exist in Pacifica. We have these programs further just demonstrating that the target students should not be Pacifica students. The charter proposal and the existing Pacifica School District programs, quite simply, this slide represents what the petitioners hope to have for students, and Pacifica schools do have for their students every day, all year. And we continue to expand. All of our schools this year are investing in project-based learning. We've embarked on a career technical education pathway that has partnership with Jefferson Union High School District. And will help us to continue to meet the demands of 21st century learning models. which would connect with exciting hands-on curriculum and career exploration, and will, as our children move off towards high school. We have 21st century classrooms, and we have our district values the TK-8 schools. We still maintain Cabrillo Elementary School as our TK-8 campus. It is a model that offers a continuous peer and teacher relationships, seamless transitions from primary to upper elementary to middle school, robust wraparound supports, all on one single community-based campus. Through district reorganization, we maintained our commitment to a TK-8 grade school at Cabrillo.
We are at time.
We, again, I just wanted to finish just by saying thank you for your time.
San Bruno Park School District. Please come to the podium at this time. Amanda Blanchett, Vice President, San Bruno Park District Board of Trustees, Heather Latta, Executive Director, San Bruno Education Foundation, and Andrea Shea, community member and parent, will be speaking for the district.
Hello, President Torres and members of the County Board of Education. My name is Amanda Blanchett, and I serve as the Vice President of the San Bruno Park School Board. On behalf of San Bruno Park Elementary School District Board of Trustees and District Administration, I am here to formally express our opposition to the Ocean Light Charter School petition. After careful review, we find that the petition does not meet the legal and educational standards required under California Education Code 47605B, and we do not believe this new school would serve the needs of our community. San Bruno Park is a small district located geographically next to Pacifica, where the drive to create the Ocean Light Charter School has originated. We would like to call to attention that the charter petition seems to be driven less by a genuine effort to serve all students across the Northern County, but rather an effort to solve a highly localized and contentious issue at the city and district of Pacifica. Those familiar with school issues in San Mateo County are well aware of the struggles that the Pacifica School District is facing. We deeply sympathize with these struggles, as our district struggles are well documented. However, we must take issue with the idea that this charter school is designated to serve the broader county population, including San Bruno. The Ocean Light School centers around environmental education, STEAM, family partnerships, and social emotion. These focus areas as they align with learning initiatives across the San Bruno School District. We would like to take a moment to share about our programming. In the arts, we staff one elementary music teacher, excuse me, and not just one, but two middle school music teachers. This allows us to offer students many options, including band, orchestra, jazz ensemble, and choir. We also provide visual art instructions and a unique one-of-a-kind art, media, and entertainment pathway focused on Pacific Islander culture and history, plus theater and dance programs across both elementary and middle school levels. For STEAM initiatives, we have a robust LEGO robotics program that encompasses every school in our district. 3 of our 5 schools have active garden programs, and half of our elementary schools maintain dedicated STEAM classrooms serving all of our students. Our goal is to expand these programs to our remaining schools. With counselors at every elementary school, we believe this demonstrates our commitment to the development of our students' social and emotional growth. Additionally, family liaisons are present at every school, and we have recently been awarded a community schools grant, further demonstrating our strength and dedication to our family partnerships. We are extraordinarily needs to make, and we would be happy to share more of our programming with those who are interested. These existing programs show that we do not believe that Ocean Light would fill any clear educational gaps in the San Bruno School District. Therefore, we conclude that the petition does not present an educational program that is demonstrably sound or unique as required by law. Finally, 3 of our 5 San Bruno Park schools are designated as Title I schools, serving more than 40% of students from low-income families. Nearly 30% of San Bruno students are English learners. We are proud to serve a diverse student population, including those with greater needs. Our review of the petition raises significant questions about the petitioner's ability to recruit, enroll, and serve economically diverse and language learning populations in our region. Criteria that must be legally satisfied, and we find insignificant evidence that this requirement would be met. Furthermore, we found no evidence of community forums, meetings, or information sessions conducted with San Bruno residents regarding the charter school. Therefore, we believe the petitioners lack sufficient evidence of capacity to successfully implement their program as required by law. For these reasons, we do not find that the charter petition meets the requisite legal criteria. Accordingly, the San Bruno Park District Board of Trustees respectfully recommends the San Mateo County Board of Education deny the Ocean Light Charter School petition. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Hello, Board. My name is Heather Latta, and I am president of the San Bruno Education Foundation, a volunteer-run nonprofit organization dedicated to support and improve the educational opportunities provided in the San Bruno Park School District. From that vantage point, I have a deep sense of the offerings available in San Bruno's public schools and also the needs of our district students. After reviewing the petition for the Ocean Light Charter School, I really felt for the parents and community of the Ocean Shore School in Pacifica that their district decided to, I thought, close, but I guess move and change. There are clearly special parts of that school that school community misses. And, I understand that our school district also went through some neighborhood school closures, and I know that those can be difficult. However, there's no compelling need for that school across the rest of North San Mateo County. In fact, the petition misstates the availability of similar programs that meet similar needs already in neighboring districts. In particular, in the San Bruno Park School District, as Amanda stated, many of our schools have programs very similar to what Ocean Light would like to offer. And I also detailed many of these in a letter that I sent ahead to the board regarding the STEAM offerings that we have, project-based learning, and many of the programs Amanda mentioned. The fact that these similar programs are already offered in San Bruno may in part explain the very limited demand for Ocean Light Charter School from San Bruno families. As evidenced in the petition itself, the school is overwhelmingly being requested by Pacifica residents and not residents across North County. Just a few living in San Bruno signed the petition to indicate interest in sending their children to the school. Also notable is that of the families surveyed about their interest in attending, only 59% of those families would even send their children to the school if it were located in West San Bruno, right next to Pacifica. Finally, the proposed location of the charter school in Pacifica, West San Bruno, or West Daly City makes it unlikely that the student body would be ethnically or socioeconomically representative of North San Mateo County. The proposed location would place the school in an easier commuting distance to the wealthier parts of the North County and make it difficult for the more socioeconomically disadvantaged families on the east side of North County to be able to commute their children to attend the charter school. The east side of San Bruno also includes greater proportions of our Latino and English learner students that the charter school would be less accessible for. As a result, the charter school is likely to pull wealthier students with parents with more time available to commute their children over to the school location. This would take away parents from our public school communities who have a desire for active engagement in their schools and the financial resources to help support that engagement. Consequently, this charter school has the potential to undermine the ability of local school districts like San Bruno's to continue to provide existing services and academic offerings that are demonstrably similar to those that the charter school proposes, but which San Bruno Park has successfully been able to provide to broader populations of students, including the populations of 3 Title I schools. For these reasons, I ask you to consider denying the application for this charter school. Thank you.
Good evening, trustees. I'm going to have to talk fast. My name is Andriana Shea.
I'm a San Bruno parent with children in 4th and 7th grade in our public schools, and I also previously served as a trustee for the San Bruno Park School District and on the board of the San Bruno Education Foundation. I'm here tonight to respectfully urge you to deny the Ocean Light Charter School petition. After reviewing the petition, it's clear that the proposal does not meet the legal or educational standards for county authorization, nor does it reflect a genuine or broad-based need in North County. In San Bruno, that lack of demand is evident. Only a handful of families signed the petition, and there have been no meaningful efforts to engage our community through public meetings or outreach. On the contrary, our families have not asked for a charter alternative. They've shown deep commitment to strengthening our existing schools. The recent passage of Measure X, a partial tax approved by over 75% of our voters, shows strong local support for our public schools and continued investment in them. I'm going to skip the programs. I'm also concerned about the petition's reliance on academic comparisons to other schools. The originating school community, Ocean Shore, did not serve newcomer students or long-term English learners, making those comparisons incomplete and misleading. Without clear plans to recruit or support these student populations, Ocean Light's projected outcomes do not reflect the realities of North County schools or the diverse learners they serve. Finally, the proposed location City or West San Bruno are not easily accessible to families from the eastern or more economically diverse parts of our region. This would likely result in a school that is less representative of county students and that risks deepening inequities rather than addressing them. For these reasons, I respectfully ask the board to deny the Ocean Light Charter petition or unmet need, nor capacity to equitably serve the full diversity of our region's students. Thank you for your time and for your continued dedication to ensuring that public education in our county remains equitable, strong, and community-centered.
South San Francisco Unified School District, please come to the podium at this time. Dr. Shantara Moore, Superintendent, will be speaking for the district.
Good evening, President Torres, members of the San Mateo County Board, Deputy Superintendent Chavez, in absence of Superintendent McGee. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. As I said, I'm Dr. Shantara Moore, Superintendent in South San Francisco Unified, proudly serving almost 8,000 students. We are deeply committed to providing every child with exceptional, equitable, and engaging education as evidenced by our bold, inclusive, equity-centered strategic plan. I am here today to express my strong opposition and respectfully urge you to deny the Ocean Light Charter petition. While I absolutely appreciate the petitioner's desire to serve students well, this proposal does not meet the legal standards for a countywide charter, as we've heard. It also poses significant risks to the current public charter system serving our most vulnerable communities. First, the petition fails the legal test for a countywide charter. We've heard countywide charter must serve a pupil population that cannot be served well by a single district charter. Ocean Light's own data proves the opposite. Their community survey shows that 70% of expressed interest comes from just one city, Pacifica. This is not a countywide need. It is a localized demand that seeks a countywide solution, which would unnecessarily pull students and resources from 6 other districts. Second, the petition is incomplete and built on vague promises, not a sound plan. The law requires a reasonably comprehensive plan. The petition falls short of that. There are critical pieces missing. The petition explicitly states that key health and safety policies not available yet, that the parent handbook will be written after authorization. A petition cannot necessarily be deemed complete when its basic operational documents are non-existent. There is also an unrealistic financial model. The petition admits that revenue from donations and grants should be less than 10% of costs, yet its entire model relies on expensive resource-heavy programs without a realistic fundraising plan. This poses a high risk of fiscal failure and disruption for enrolled students. Third, the proposal poses severe fiscal and systemic harm to existing public schools in North San Mateo County. Even a small enrollment loss has devastating financial, programmatic, and staffing impacts. These are the very dollars that fund our teachers, our staff, our counselors, our wellness supports that serve our students, particularly those students who are in marginalized or vulnerable communities. By spreading this enrollment impact across 6 schools, Ocean Light dilutes the visible harm, but deepens the systemic damage, forcing all of us to cut programs for the many to fund a school for the few. Fourth, the petition undermines equity and fails our most vulnerable kiddos. The petition claims to serve underserved students, but its outreach, God bless you, and predicted demographics tell a different story. Focusing on Pacifica does not reflect the profound linguistic and socioeconomic diversity of the North County. This plan lacks the specific ways in which culturally and linguistic responsive teaching will occur in the professional learning provided to ensure that this happens. Furthermore, the lack of a credible recruitment plan and the presence of transportation barriers will inevitably limit access for English learners, students with IEPs, and low-income families in communities like South San Francisco, Daly City, and San Bruno. We must not create a new system that risks further stratifying our students. The petition claims that families in North San Mateo County lack access to high-quality, innovative programs. This data proves false. We are already delivering excellence. This charter would simply duplicate and dilute, not innovate. Fifth, the governance and capacity concerns are significant. While the founding board may be well-intentioned, I believe they are, it lacks direct experience in running a California public school, managing multi-site operations, and navigating the complex realities of special education compliance. The heavy reliance on a private management company, as earlier mentioned, for core fiscal operation raises serious questions about the transparency and local accountability for public funds. You've heard me talk about the specific fiscal risks in this petition, specifically the over-reliance on soft money. But I must underscore that this is not just a local issue. It is a symptom of a statewide crisis in charter school oversight that the legislature has been desperately trying to fix. Just 2 days ago, on October 15th, EdSource reported that Governor Newsom vetoed Senate Bill 414, a bipartisan effort to crack down on charter school fraud. This veto leaves major oversight gaps in place for at least another year. Let me be clear. I am not alleging fraud by the petitioners that are here today, but I am stating that they are asking you to approve a new charter at a time when the state's own mechanisms to prevent financial misconduct and to protect public funds are acknowledged to be critically weak. This is a high-risk environment. You are being asked to entrust millions of dollars in public education to a new entity with an unproven board and a speculative budget precisely when state-level safeguards have failed to be enacted. Approving this petition isn't just a vote on Ocean Light. It is a vote to assume a massive oversight responsibility of this board that the state itself is struggling to manage. We should not experiment with our children's education and our public funds in a regulatory vacuum. Now let me paint a picture for you of the great things happening in South San Francisco. Our students are already thriving in a vibrant, well-rounded learning environment. We are home to state-recognized academic programs, award-winning arts and athletics, and a deeply inclusive community traditions. Our students initiated and led the now nationally recognized Ruby Bridges Walk to School Day movement. Our schools have received San Mateo County Kent Awards, the CSBA Golden Bell Awards, the United States 2020 Honor STEM Mentoring Award in collaboration with Genentech for excellence in public-private partnership for innovation. And our students consistently compete at local, state, and national levels, from National History Day to music, band, and dance competitions. We are proud of our Ballet Folklorico programs that celebrate our culture and our athletic teams that build resilience and teamwork. Our students are actively engaged in community service, strong career technical education pathways, access and exposure to college and career fairs at the elementary, middle, and high school levels, and access to strong counseling, wellness, and social emotional learning programs. All of these values align to our graduate aims outlined in our portrait of a graduate. Our teachers and our staff ensure that excellence is not reserved for a few, it is accessible for all. This is what strong community-based public education looks like in North San Mateo County. It is what we are building together, and it deserves to be protected. In closing, districts in North San Mateo County are innovating already. We are implementing next-generation science standards and problem-based math and science curricula, expanding environmental literacy, and strengthening social-emotional supports. We are doing this work within our public systems alongside our families and our students. Approving this petition would not be an act of innovation. It would be an act of fragmentation, duplicating existing programs while destabilizing the very districts committed to educational equity. Given that the majority of signatures on this petition come predominantly from the Pacifica area, it is best likely served in Pacifica rather than all of San Mateo County. Our collective responsibility is to protect the coherence, strength, and equity of public education in our existing North County schools for every child across San Mateo County. I respectfully urge you to deny this petition. Thank you so much for your time, your thoughtful consideration, and your partnership in serving all of our students.
Thank you to all the districts for their presentations. For item 6D, the board will have the opportunity to directly ask clarifying questions of the SMCOE staff, the petitioners, and the districts. I will also add that they have the option of emailing these questions to Attorney Lisa Cho for further investigation. Are there any questions from the board at this time? Trustee Lev?
Thank you. I just had a couple clarifying questions here. One, I was curious about what had been done between the district and the school that was being closed in terms of meetings to study how the two might be merged, kind of address some of the concerns that have been raised. I'm just that's a question mark on what process was in place to successfully kind of bring Ocean Shore from its current or previous location into its current location.
I'm going to ask you to repeat that after. I will ask board members if they are asking a question to state who they are referring the question to so that they could answer and then ask their question.
Okay, so my question, I guess, then would be to this, it would be to both, but to the school, let's say to the school district, what steps did you put in place to make this process of, I know the terminology has been mixed on if it's a closing of a school or a merging of a school, whatever you did. I had been involved with Redwood City doing that kind of work, and I was just curious what process you used.
The term that we're using is a co-location, so it's two schools on one campus sharing resources. And the process that we used to work with the teachers and the administrators and staff and families was we developed both a transition team and a visioning team for both schools. And so the visioning team was made up of members of each staff, which included parents, teachers, and administrators. And then the transition team also included that group, but also district staff, so that any decisions that they made, the district could coordinate as well. We also had other types of support measures that were taken. We offered different types of transition support. We had a mental health therapist that offered support we offered family engagement nights in May, 3 different family engagement nights to families, and then staff engagement evenings to families hosted by a therapist to work, engaging in resilience activities. So those were some of the activities that we engaged in.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, let's go. Thanks.
And did you have other questions or did you want the other
Why don't other
petitioner?
people go and then I will.
Got it. Trustee O'Neill, just a reminder if you could state who you are asking your question to.
I'm asking someone from the Pacifica School District. When Ocean Shore was relocated to Sunset Ridge, how many students were at Ocean Shore School, 1, and then 2, how many students actually went to Ocean Shore versus leaving the school district?
I don't have the exact numbers of students that are there right now, but I would say that there were 200, there were 250 students were expected to transfer to Sunset Ridge or co-locate to Sunset Ridge. And we have about 190 students there now.
So I just want to be sure I'm understanding you correctly. When the decision was made to close Ocean Shore, there was approximately 250. Okay, co-locate. There was 250 at Ocean Shore, was the
K
ADA?
through 5, yes.
Okay, okay, and that was the K through 5, right?
That co-located to Sunset Ridge.
Order, please.
Okay, so that was the K through 5. And then how many of the 6, 7, and 8 went to IBL? Because one of the main reasons you're saying is the fiscal impact given the ADA. And I'm looking to see how many students have you lost already that are still within Pacifica School District, but are potential, leaving if this was approved. That's the question I'm asking. If you,
Mm-hmm.
okay, go ahead.
We've done an attrition study from last year to this year, and we had 2660 last year, and so we've lost about 100 students. So we're at about 2560. We were anticipating losing about 50 students. We've added a grade level for TK, so that's kind of covered up some of what the loss is. And so we are seeing a higher amount of attrition in those middle grades, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. And we have seen a larger number of students going to Good Shepherd Parochial School in our district as well. Probably about 40 students are attending Good Shepherd Parochial School, and about 30 of those students are from Ocean Shore. We have had, of all the students that have left the district this year, 40% of those students have moved out of the district. So not out of state, in fact. So
One of the things
it's a complicated question.
One of the things you mentioned here was SELPA funding. Okay, it was that special needs students could come to Pacifica if the charter school, and to be honest, I don't know if this goes to you or to County Office of Ed staff or to Ocean Light, is if there is a special needs student, there was a mention that the Ocean Light could join the SELPA program at the County Office of Ed. Is that true?
That is correct.
Okay. Would the funding that is allocated for a student with higher needs, does that go to the charter school, or does it go, where does that come from?
The funding follows the student.
The funding would follow the student. Now, somewhere in one of these documents, you could see how thick the binders were. Okay, what it said that somebody mentioned that they could potentially go to, would the charter school join the SELPA? Is that the plan? Or is that standard practice?
I would defer. I know that most charters do join a SELPA, not necessarily the county SELPA that they're located in.
So you're saying that Ocean Light would have the opportunity to join the SELPA program in Santa Clara County, just as an example?
Not possibly. I know, for example, El Dorado County is a popular place where charters seek the SELPA support. There's also some charter schools within our county that use our own SELPA.
Okay, okay. But the funding would follow the student and it would go to the charter school, who then would be obligated to provide the special needs that the student needs?
Yes.
Okay, based on their, on the IEP. Okay. Now this is for Ocean Light. Okay, I know one of the mainstays and one of the things that was really touted for Ocean Shore was parent involvement. And I know when I was on the board there was a required requirement of 96 hours a parent was required to do, and they either paid somebody to do it or they did it themselves. Is that going to be a requirement at Ocean Light?
Based on the current laws, we cannot require any parent volunteer hours. And in order to achieve equitable access, because we know that different families have different situations, some parents have to work 2 jobs in order to, keep things going. So there will not be a requirement, but there will be a lot of support to help families be able to contribute whatever they can to the program.
Okay, second, in your outreach, a lot has been made that something like, 70%, I think was the figure that was mentioned, were Pacifica parents. Tell me, how was the survey distributed to get the numbers that are in your application? What was your target market? What was your marketing? And could you also share how are you going to market your school? I can't think of a better word, okay, but market your school to North County or to the county as a whole?
All right. So there are a lot of members of our team who sort of work on different areas of the petition, but also like our efforts. So I'm going to probably call on Rachel to respond to your second question. But for the first question, we held about 15 info sessions over the summer on Zoom and in person. And our in-person info session was actually at the South San Francisco Library, the brand new, beautiful building. And the way that we got the word out about these info sessions was that we placed targeted ads on social media to make sure that we were reaching people with children, younger children, in our demographic in all of the North County cities. And from that, we had people who signed up for the info session. And as part of the info session, after that, they responded to an interest survey.
Okay, then how did you get 68% of your people from one school district versus when you are applying for a countywide charter? What is your outreach to the full county going to be?
So the social media advertising was to the entire North County region, which is our target demographic for the first location. Of course, because Pacifica is very familiar with a program like this, the interest in Pacifica is the highest because there are people who understand this program and have recently lost a program like this. So naturally, they were the beginning of the excitement about it. But that does not really determine what the future of our outreach will be. And I'll hand it over to Rachel to explain a little bit more about our outreach plans.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Reimers, and I'm a founding team member.
A little closer to the mic.
Ocean
Thank
Light.
you.
Okay, I'm going to say a few things that have already been said, but I want to explain about our outreach and about our future. Equity isn't an afterthought at Ocean Light. It's the reason we exist. North County families face real barriers, long commutes, district boundaries, and limited program availability. Our plan for a multi-site TK-8 model directly addresses those barriers. So we're aiming to begin in Pacifica, Daly City, and expand towards South San Francisco, San Bruno, so families, especially those with young children, can access our program. The design makes Ocean Light the opposite of exclusive. It's a countywide model built for proximity, not privilege. Each campus will reflect demographics of its surrounding community with targeted recruitment. That's what we're working on. We have multilingual outreach. Already, we have community volunteers that have translated materials into Tagalog, Spanish, Mandarin, Cantonese, and Arabic. And that will continue. So we have multilingual outreach and partnerships with local early learning centers and family resource agencies. We are also developing transportation partnerships, including van pooling, shuttle services, and transit subsidies for families needing them. So everyone can get to Ocean Light wherever we are. Ocean Light's multi-site approach ensures that equitable access to environmental and project-based learning isn't determined by zip code, but guaranteed for every child in San Mateo County. We will continually review our enrollment data and adjust our strategies so our student body reflects the region's diversity. For us, equity is a living process.
Okay, that's enough. Okay, but you have stressed equity, okay? And I noticed in your application, you're inequitable to your employees, okay? Teachers are going to be in the CalSTRS program, which is a defined benefit plan, yet classified people are going to be in a 403B, which is not a defined benefit plan. How can you justify equity if you're not treating the employees equity in your application?
Here from EdTech. I just wanted to say that it's, oh, excuse me, sorry, it's the rare charter school that is in the PERS program. The majority have.
Would you please speak into the microphone?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It is not the norm for charter schools to be in the PERS program. There are only a few that are, and it's generally the ones that were established a long time ago and as an outgrowth of public schools.
But I'm saying you stress equity, but you're treating the two classifications of employees inequitable. 403B versus a defined benefit plan are two different things. I also looked and saw that your salary according now, it was an AI answer or whatever, that your salary is very high for the median income or median for teachers in San Mateo County. Can you share how that's going to be sustainable for you on a fiscal basis?
Yes, I think the intention behind that is that the school would be starting with 9 teachers and that those 9 teachers would come with more experience. And therefore, the average teacher salary was set higher.
Okay, so I probably have some more, but I'll let others go.
Thank you. Trustee Alvaro?
Thank you. Excuse me. I want to address this to the charter school applicants. I do the best I can to talk loud. Hopefully you can hear me. I looked at your border map, the map that you have of where you want to draw from, and you specifically say north of 92, which seems to me to include a number of districts, including Millbrae, a good chunk of San Mateo School District, and certainly San Mateo High, but you're talking about elementary here, and Cabrillo Unified. Not the low income parts below 92 where all the farm workers live, but the higher income parts above 92. Did they get the letter? I don't see them here. I haven't seen anything coming from them in terms of discussion.
So the letters by law go out to the districts that we initially would locate in. That is the reason why we did not send it to Burlingame, because the way that the process works with the ed code is that when we decide on the next location, that we would then send the letters to them at that point to notify them and give them an opportunity to respond. Since the identified location is at the intersection of Hickey Boulevard and Skyline, the districts that would be affected the most would be the districts around that region daily. So Jefferson Elementary, San Bruno Park, South San Francisco, Colma, and Brisbane. Those were the school districts that we notified, but not Cabrillo, which is further down the coast.
Okay, so your map is about what you dream might happen somewhere down the line, but not what you're looking to do right now.
Correct. That's right.
So the idea of serving countywide is really, if the first one takes off, then you might open another that would serve a different part of the North County, and then you might open a third that would serve a different part of the North County.
That's right.
But initially, we're looking at basically Pacifica.
Right. It would be more in the 5-year plan, kind of time frame.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Trustee Bonini?
I have 2 follow-up questions. They're both for the charter school representatives. The first one is, can you tell me whether it's an actual number, a percentage, or an estimate, how many of the current students at the co-located Ocean Shore School have signed and are planning to go potentially to this new school?
I don't know the exact number for the children who are going to be from Ocean Shore to coming to. I do know the number for Pacifica, and
Okay.
they're about 240. I'm not good at remembering numbers, but I think it's about 240 in Pacifica that signed the petition with an intent to enroll.
Okay. So do you have a reasonable estimate as the percentage of students that are currently attending the co-located school?
Does anyone know that number? I can get it for you, though. I will send that information to you.
Great, thank you. My second question is based upon your decision to seek countywide charter versus applying to Pacifica School District for a charter. So the way that I've read all the materials is an explanation as to why it would be advantageous from your perspective to have a countywide charter, the benefits it might bring, the needs you have determined in through your data. The way that our policy reads is that you need to provide a reasonable justification that the students cannot be served as well by a charter school in Pacifica. And so I would like to understand what your reasonable justification is for not seeking to apply to Pacifica as opposed to seek a countywide charter.
So I think let's try to be very clear about what has happened in Pacifica, because that informs why did we not seek a petition, a district-specific petition. When the district decided to close this 50-year program, it was indicating that it did not value a program like this, not enough to do what it takes to sustain a program like this. Perhaps there were budget issues, right? But the budget issues did not reflect the failure of this program. What the budget issues was structural for the whole district. And what we determined is that a program like this cannot really be sustained within a small school district, that it really does need to scale up and really meet the needs of the county, especially since we had determined that there was a need in San Mateo County for a program that is unique like Ocean Light. Nothing exists like this in North San Mateo County. And there's only one charter in this whole region, north of 92, and it's a high school. Whereas south of 92, there are so many options. So this is about bringing choice, taking something that happened that was difficult, but really seeing how it can be harnessed to meet the need for equitable choice in Northern San Mateo County. That's why we took it to the countywide charter.
Okay, I just want to clarify my question slightly. So if you were to just go with me on this hypothetical, If you were to apply directly to Pacifica, you would still be providing a choice. You would still have the independence that is offered through the structure of a charter school. You would still be able to, it seems to me from the estimated numbers, probably have enough students to start, since a majority of your students who are families who have signed are from Pacifica. So the question is really, why can't you do that? Why wouldn't that work?
In Pacifica?
The way that I'm reading our policy is that we need to have a reasonable justification as to why that is not a feasible solution to the problem you have identified, or the opportunity you have identified.
I think it's about opportunity, right? So in order for a program like this to serve the students equitably, we want to be zip code blind. If we were to charter in Pacifica, we would be obligated to give Pacifica residents priority. The impact will be even greater on Pacifica if we were to do that. The way that we have written our enrollment policy, there is no priority for any particular city. It is really about meeting the need in the region.
Are there any other questions from the board? Trustee Lev? Trustee Lev?
So I have this question for you as well. So the examples you used, San Carlos, Bullis, and then the other one, Quail Lake, all of those were district charters. So that was sort of that you highlighted them as a model. And again, this is sort of following off on this question. You know, we have KIPP schools and we have other Summit, which you also mentioned, and they have multiple sites, but they actually are kind of came up from the community. And you're looking almost like, it seems like something that's going to be brought to these communities. Like we will expand, because I don't hear a lot of from you or from the other districts that there was a lot of input from those other communities. Like you're saying, you know what do you guys want from the school? Let us know, and we're going to redo this school or this petition to really reflect these communities that we are going to be of. And so just kind of curious why you have these role models, you have Summit schools, KIPP schools, and those have used the district model. And you know, because you could do Pacifica and then nail it in Pacifica and then go to other communities and bring the school. So I'm just curious why that didn't happen.
You know, when a charter school is chartered within a district, every time they want to open a new school, they then have to submit a new petition to another district. And there are different requirements for each district, which is expected. There is a certain amount of efficiency that can come from a district-wide charter, where really you are submitting one LCAP every year. This is a mission-driven school. And if we can bring some of that administrative efficiency, it's really what it does is it saves money to bring it to the students.
Okay. The other question I had, and this is really a clarifying question because I don't really understand how it works, and maybe this question for the county staff, is the issue of this, is it Prop 39? And if you are using that in Pacifica and you have a certain number of students, what happens to all those other students who don't live in Pacifica? Pacifica, as I understand it, doesn't have to take those students. So now you have 180 students in Pacifica going to the school that's been provided by Pacifica School District, but you have 47 in some other, you know, in San Bruno Park or somewhere else. What happens to those students at the beginning, right? Because you said you're going to start with multiple sites.
Right.
And then that seems potentially really expensive.
Right.
and you need at least 80 students to, I believe, to actually get a Prop 39. So you have these 47 sitting here, and now you have to create a space for them. It seems that that would be extremely challenging from a facilities and from a funding perspective. So what are your thoughts on that?
So yes, the Prop 39 requires that a district provides equitable facilities for the students that are attending that charter school from that district. Currently, with the people who have signed the petition, Pacifica School District is the only district that we would qualify for that Prop 39. So part of it is a negotiation between the district for those extra students who are not in-district students, because they are not obligated to provide that facility for those students. So there will be a lease agreement typically that's negotiated for those extra students, which then brings income to the district through rental of those extra classrooms. It can be a challenging process to negotiate, but there's also money on the table to help offset some of those costs. But we are also looking at other facilities that would be just rental. So we're not entirely dependent on being able to qualify for Prop 39.
Other questions from the board? Trustee Bonini?
My question is actually for the Pacifica School District. So kind of based upon my first question when I asked before, if students from the current co-located Ocean Shore School, say 50% of them end up going to a new charter school, will it be sustainable to continue the programming at the co-located school? Like if students, my question is basically, if students choose not to go, can they continue with the programming that they've been accustomed to having?
So your number was?
I just estimated it at half.
Half, yeah. I mean, it gets into the millions of dollars, and with a district as small as we are, millions of dollars is a lot of dollars. And some things that you have to consider in our district is the high cost of special ed. 27% of our students have an eligibility with autism, and that is a significantly higher amount of students in our district with autism, higher than the county and then higher than the state. And so we have a lot of students that we serve with high needs in the district. So that's a substantial dollar amount when you look at all the needs of the children that we serve in our district.
Thank you.
Other questions from the board? So I know that there were some like data specific questions that were asked. If you did not get those answers, I recommend that you send those questions to Lisa, or Attorney Cho, so that way she can retrieve those answers for us. My question, I have just one question, and it's for our county staff. I know one of the highlights of the charter is the environmental justice and literacy. I also know that our county office has been pretty spectacular and award-winning in those efforts as well. So how is that program being offered there different from what our county can offer to all the districts, if that makes sense?
If I understand the question correctly, how does a charter petitions program connect or align with the counties?
Or how is it different? Like what are they offering that we can't offer?
We can bring that back to you. We're in the process of analyzing fully analyzing the program, the petition. So that is something that we can definitely dive deeper into and bring that back.
Perfect. Thank you. I will also send it in an email so it's there.
Yes.
We will now move to the last phase of public hearing. So for item 6E, the public is invited to make public comment related to this agenda item. For those attending in person and wishing to speak, you have not already done so, please make sure you fill out the speaker card on the table outside of the boardroom and return it to a staff member when completed. I also want to acknowledge that I have received emails and letters, and I have read and responded to them. I know I also received additional letters and emails today. Please note that I have not had a chance to get to those yet, but I will. And that I know, before we move forward, just a few reminders. One, I know it's late. I know we've been here. I also want to acknowledge that there's a lot of feelings and emotions, but that we are respectful to all of our speakers, so that way we can hear everyone equitably. And just a reminder that everyone has 1 minute to speak. And before we move on to public comment, I am hearing that some folks need a break. If someone can motion for a break.
I move that we take a 5-minute recess.
There is a motion by Trustee Bonini to take a 5-minute recess. Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you. There is a motion by Trustee Bonini to take a 5-minute recess with a second by Trustee Alvaro. Is there any further discussion? May I please get a roll call vote?
Ms. Alvaro,
Aye.
Ms. Benini,
Aye.
Ms. Gerard,
Aye.
Ms. Love, Mr. O'Neill, Mr. Torres.
Aye. The motion passes with a vote of 6-0, and we will take a 5-minute recess, and we will return at 9:18. Thank you. If we can start making our way back, that would be great. I will have to use my principal voice. We are starting in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We are now returning from our break. It is 9:20. So as just a reminder for item 6E, the public is invited to make public comment where they will each have 1 minute to speak. And this will be related to the agenda item we just had. For those attending in person and wishing to speak, if you haven't done so already, just a reminder to fill out the speaker card and submit it to a staff member. Those are located outside on the table. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, do we have any comments submitted prior to the meeting related to this item?
Yeah, yes, as of 6 p.m. this evening, we did receive 3 comments or 3 emails. So we'll forward those in their entirety to the board. I'll just summarize the 3. We received one from Sarah Johnson. The center expresses support for approving the Ocean Light Charter School within the Pacifica School District. They wish to enroll their child there, explaining dissatisfaction with the current school and lack of alternatives. We also received an email and a letter from Heather Alada. She's the president of the San Bruno Education Foundation, and a volunteer nonprofit supporting the San Bruno Park School District. She urges the county to deny approval of the proposed Ocean Light Charter School. The foundation argues that the petition overstates the need of such a school, as similar STEAM, robotics, garden leadership, and social emotional learning programs already exist in San Bruno Public Schools. And the third email was from Alexis Petru from San Bruno. A longtime San Bruno resident and active public school volunteer that urges opposing the proposed Ocean Light Charter School in northern San Mateo County. The writer shares that the new charter school would divert essential funding and parent involvement from existing public schools in that area. So those are the 3 that we received as of 6.
Thank you so much. Speakers are now invited to make live comment and will have 1 minute to speak. Please keep within the time limits. As a reminder, speakers shall direct their comments to the board and are urged to hold all applause until the end of public comment and avoid repeating points made by previous speakers if possible. So if there is remote or in-person public comment in Spanish, our in-person interpreter will use consecutive interpretations. The timer will only count down while the comment is being made in Spanish and not during the translation. Please remember to speak slowly and clearly. To make a comment over Zoom, members of the public may use the raise hand feature. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, are there any members of the public attending remotely who wish to make a comment at this time related to the item?
I do not. Oh, there is a hand raised. Karen Newsty.
Hello.
We hear you, Karen.
Okay. Hi. I can do this now, or I can wait for a later time. Is this the appropriate time to start?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hello, good evening, trustees. My name is Karen Newsty, and it's very nice to see you again. I wanted to say a few words tonight on behalf of the leadership team and the vision for the new public charter. As some of you know, I've spent a lot of years working in schools around the Bay Area. I'm not here tonight to speak to my previous connection to Ocean Shore School. I'm really here just to ask you to consider an asset-based mindset around what could be. We know that families want choice, and no one in the leadership team or as part of this group wants to be divisive in any way. Everyone wants to work together. Thank you.
We also have a hand raised from Shavni Ganguly.
Yes, that's me. Thank you.
Go ahead, Shavni.
Hi. Sure. Hi, I'm Shivani. I'm a finance and ops leader and an Ocean Light board member. I've been working significantly on the financial planning for Ocean Light. Our financial planning is conservative and flexible. Our goal is to build a plan rooted in reality and grounded in the experience of charter schools successfully operating across Northern California. To that end, we partnered with EdTech, recognized experts in charter school finance, to ensure that every assumption is data-driven. We took a very conservative approach, careful with revenue projections and disciplined with expenses, to position the school for long-term financial stability and healthy reserves. At the same time, the budget was designed to be flexible. It scales with enrollment, allowing us to allocate resources strategically as the school grows and to add expenses as we secure grant funding. In short, this is a thoughtful, evidence-based budget that gives Ocean Light a strong foundation for launch and for sustainable success in the years ahead. Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any other raised hands remotely.
Thank you. Members of the public may also provide live comment in person. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, are there any submitted cards?
Yes, we have submitted cards. We're gonna start with our students. And just for the public comments, we do have 2 mics set up, so I'll call several names, and as you please go to the mic that's closest to you.
So I ask that speakers will line up as their names are called to microphone 1 and microphone 2 as directed by staff.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then we have Deputy Superintendent Bolton over there to help, and Associate Superintendent Tammy Moore over here. So we'll start with Ellie Swidler, followed by Lena Starrett, and Vivi Burdette.
Hi, I'm Ellie, a 5th grader currently at Ocean Shore Sunset Ridge. I went to Ocean Shore kindergarten through 4th grade. I enjoyed the project-based learning like making slideshows, pillows, and dioramas. The field trips also helped me by learning about the world around me. For example, having a unit about the California Railroad and afterward going to the California State Railroad Museum really helped me envision what it would be like. Interacting with other grades also helped boost up my learning. Like having buddies really helped our school environment be bully-free. Parent volunteers doing things like theme days and extracurricular activities like art can really help our school too. For example, a teacher does a lot in one day and even more in one whole school year, so the parent can help support their child's class and teacher. Ocean Light would have all these things, and therefore I would like for the future generations to experience the same. Thank you.
Lena, followed by Vivi.
Hi, my name is Lena Stair, and I am a 5th grader at Ocean Shore Sunset Ridge School. I have gone to Ocean Shore since kindergarten. I hope Ocean Light opens so there would be more cross-grade learning, which allows students to interact with kids from different grades with reading buddies, STEAM buddies, 7th, 8th teachers, and pod days. I had so much fun in 4th grade going to Point Reyes with the 5th graders. There's not much cross-grade interactions and friendships now. I remember doing buddies in 1st grade. We were doing a STEAM and trying to make a boat float. It was a lot easier to learn with them with a buddy than with myself. Now that I'm an older buddy, I remember how buddies treated me when I was little. They were kind and respectful to me. It made me feel special. I treat my little buddies that way now. I think we should be able to keep this tradition going so that kids in the future, like my 3 younger siblings, can have the same experience that I did. Thank you.
Vivi, followed by Aria, followed by Connor.
Hi, my name is Vivi and I'm 8 years old. I really want Ocean Light School because I hope the teachers there will be happy. Ju- oh my gosh, I messed up.
You're
Okay.
okay. Keep going.
Can I restart?
Yeah, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Hi, my name is Vivi and I'm 8 years old. I really want Ocean Light School because I hope the teachers there will be happy, like they were at Ocean Shore. When the teachers are happy, they come up with fun ways to teach. And that makes the kids happy too. It goes both ways. At Ocean Shore, it always felt like home and family with teachers, my friends, and lots of adults. Families knew kids and kids knew families. We were all connected. Now, school doesn't feel the same. Sometimes it just feels like being at work. It's the same thing every day. That's not the best for me. I want to have a better childhood than that. I really hope you say yes to Ocean Light School. Thank you for listening.
Arya Chang, followed by Connor Fagan, followed by Ruby Reinhardt.
Good evening. My name is Arya. I am an 8th grader at Ingrid B. Lacey Middle School in Pacifica. I attended Ocean Shore from kinder to 7th grade, and I want to share how Ocean Shore's style of learning shaped me as a student and person. Project-based learning really helped me learn better and master topics and be more comfortable with public speaking and collaborating with my peers on group projects. My absolute favorite project at Ocean Shore was Oceans 4 and 1. As a middle schooler, I worked on Oceans 4 and 1 for about a month, preparing a curriculum, then teaching K through 5 students about different ocean-themed topics. These projects help build my confidence with working in groups and having patience with younger kids. I see myself using these skills throughout the many more years of school I have left, and maybe even when I finish school. I feel the education I received at Ocean Shore helped mold me into the confident and well-rounded and adaptable student I am today. I hope you will approve Ocean Light's charter petition so my younger siblings and kids have the option to experience project-based learning and experimental learning at Ocean Light. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Connor Fagan, followed by Ruby Reinhardt, followed by Grace Cassidy.
Hi, my name is Connor Fagan. Okay. Hi, my name is Connor Fagan and I'm in 4th grade. I went to Ocean Shore School from kindergarten through 3rd grade. What I loved most about school was that learning was hands-on, creative, and fun. We didn't just read about things, we did them. We went on field trips and did projects that connected to what we were learning. I also liked that kids from different grades worked together. Older students taught us lessons, and I had a younger buddy that helped every week. On pod days, we met in small groups with every grade for different activities and projects. It made school feel like one big family where everyone cared for each other. I used to imagine that one day when I'm in 7th and 8th grade, I get to be one of the leaders teaching those lessons. I'm really excited for Ocean Light because it will bring back that kind of learning in a TK through 8 school. Project-based, fun, and full of teamwork and family participation. I hope you'll approve Ocean Light's charter petition so I can learn in a place that helps kids think deeply, care for the earth, and make a difference together.
Ruby Reinhardt, and then Grace Cassidy, followed by Liam Cassidy.
My name is Ruby. I believe that Ocean Light would be awesome. I look forward to being a middle schooler who can work on projects as peers with all grade levels. Working with my classmates in different grades has granted me the opportunity to be exposed to different ways of thinking. It strengthened my arguments and made my own work better. I look forward to seeing Ocean Light implement their version of group project-based learning. I encourage you to approve the petition for Ocean Light.
Thank you. Grace Cassidy, followed by Liam Aiden Cassidy, and followed by Brick Hull.
I am Grace. I'm a 4th grade student at Sunset Ridge School. We used to have garden class with the teachers and parents every week at Ocean Shore. But since we moved to Sunset Ridge, we never had any garden classes because of what we learned about protecting the environment from Ocean Shore. My friends and I are forming a green team to pick up and sort out trash at our school. I also used to spend an hour at our buddy program to get to know each other, but this year we are only allowed 15 minutes with our pod. Not really doing anything, and we don't really get to know each other very well.
Thank you. Liam, followed by Brick.
My name is Liam Cassidy, and I am a fifth grade student at Sunset Ridge School. I would like to have a school like Ocean Light School. I used to do a lot of project-based learning at Ocean Shore. Like I got to pick the screech owl in third grade and learn about it at English language arts, math, science, arts, and social study, and I still remember it to this day. But this year, we haven't done anything like that. Actually, I don't feel like I haven't learned anything new. This year, and some kids bully me after copying my answers. But I cannot change schools because all the other Pacific schools are full. My mom has to apply to private schools in Daly City and San Francisco.
Thank you. Brick, followed by Monica Howell, and then Amanda Anthony.
Good evening. My name is Brick, and I graduated from Ocean Shore Middle School a few months ago. It was extremely beneficial for me and all of my friends who went there. It was a great time. Whether it was being taught by the older students when you're younger or teaching the younger students when you're older, which is just great for both parties involved. Field trips were incredible. Yosemite and Calistoga were both very memorable and fun times. Sadly, Sutter's Fort was canceled because of COVID, but the field trips that we did get were fantastic. If I didn't graduate, then I would want to have continued my time at Ocean Light. And that's why I think you should sign this petition.
Thank you. Monica Howell, then Amanda Anthony, followed by Margaret Lamont.
My name is Monica Oka Howell, and I'm the parent of an autistic second grader attending school in San Mateo County. In kindergarten and in first grade, my son attended an alternative school where a strong culture of parent volunteering fostered deep community bonds and mutual care among families. I believe Ocean Light School is building that same spirit, where parent involvement helps every child feel seen and supported. Additionally, Ocean Light will offer experiential, project-based learning, which previously has been especially powerful for my son. His neurodiversity thrives in a small, close-knit environment where relationships and hands-on learning go hand in hand. I urge you to approve the Ocean Light petition. It offers a collaborative, inclusive model where all children, neurotypical and neurodiverse, can truly thrive.
Thank you. Amanda Anthony, followed by Margaret Lamont and Tiffany Hanna.
Hello, thank you. My name is Amanda Anthony. I'm the board president at South San Francisco Unified School District. I submitted a letter, and I won't repeat everything here, but what I will say is that in my previous role many years ago, I worked for Chicago Public Schools. Chicago was the leading charter co-locating district at that time. It was a big part of our education reform efforts. And it was really, really hard to have two schools on one campus. And more importantly, it was really hard to see schools be differently funded and differently run. We also did a lot of school closings, and that was one of my last projects. And I understand that it's really, really difficult to make decisions that are financially based to close a school and affect programs that worked for a lot of families. But I'm coming here to say that the redress that they are seeking by opening or trying to appeal to a countywide charter school is not the right redress. It should have been to Pacifica, and it shouldn't be approved by this board. Thank you very much.
Margaret Lamont, followed by Tiffany Hanna, and then Amy Burnett.
Thank you, everyone. I wanted to just briefly talk about K-8 options in San Mateo County. Oh, thank you. I am tall.
It's not on.
Okay. I wanted to talk about K-8 options in San Mateo County, partly because that was really important to me when choosing my children's schools. As the Pacifica School District slide showed, there's only 3 K-8s in northern San Mateo County. There's 6 in southern San Mateo County. And in my district, which is Pacifica, there's only 1 school. It's full. There's a wait list. My kid can't go there. And so that's not a choice that I have right now. Project-based learning is also not really a choice. So I have a second grader who's now in the co-located. It's, as far as I can tell, it's not really a co-location. It's everything's really from the parent and student experience completely merged, and it doesn't have the project-based things that we were doing before. So for me, it's about choice, offering choice for people across the entire county, and all the districts offer different things, and then students from any of those districts could come here and have that choice.
Tiffany Hanna, followed by Amy Burnett, and then Rachel Ramers.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Hanna. I am a resident of Pacifica, a Pacifica School District employee, and the first vice president of CSEA Chapter 128. We represent classified employees, the cooks, custodians, paraprofessionals, librarians, and office staff, the people who keep schools up and running. I am here because I am very concerned about the negative impact of Ocean Light Charter School on my school district. Opening a charter school would take away students and therefore jobs. We strongly oppose anything that takes away from our union. We are stronger together. I worry that such a loss of students would effectively force us to close a school, something we desperately wanted to avoid doing. We worked so hard for a successful co-location. It deeply saddens me that all this work was done in vain. Thank you for your time.
Amy Burnett, followed by Rachel Ramers, and then Jessica Welcome.
Hi, my name is Amy Burnett. I've been volunteering in schools since 1996. I've had my teaching credentials since 1999. And what I wanted to come here and tell you today is that you have this beautiful opportunity to gift the children and families of San Mateo County something different. Why I say that is because thousands of children I have taught over all of these years in Santa Cruz, Marin, Contra Costa, and San Mateo counties. Unequivocally, I can tell you this. Every single child learns differently, every single one of them. And you get this opportunity right now to lay the groundwork, to gift the soil where all of these seeds will be planted. The roots will grow out in all directions and create something magical for this community. Ocean Light is exactly what our communities need and these children deserve. Thank you so much.
Rachel Ramers, Jessica Welcome, and then Deborah Sherwin.
We deeply respect district schools and the educators who serve students every day. We're not here to divide the community. We're here because families are asking for this educational option, and it doesn't currently exist. The families supporting Ocean Light are also community members. We are teachers, parents, and neighbors who love public education and want to expand choices within it. This isn't opposition to districts. It's about believing that strong public education includes diverse options for diverse learners. Public education is strongest when it meets every family's needs. Some students thrive in traditional elementary schools. Others need different approaches. Ocean Light offers families hands-on learning experiences driven by STEAM, environmental stewardship, and a TK to 8 option, all encompassed by strong family participation. This doesn't weaken districts, it strengthens public education by keeping families in the public system who might otherwise leave. We're asking the county board to recognize that community unity includes respecting families' choices for their children's education.
Jessica Welcome, Deborah Sherwin, and then Christina Lee.
My name is Jessica Welcome, and I'm part of the Client Financial Services team at EdTech, a social enterprise company that supports charter schools. I currently work with 6 charter schools, all located in the Bay Area. Previously, I served for nearly a decade as the Director of Business Services for San Carlos Charter, one of the successful K-8 charter school models highlighted in Ocean Light's charter petition. The budget we built is based upon our extensive experience with strong TK-8 programs operating in the Bay Area. It is conservative with revenue projections and realistic with expenses. We worked closely with the founders to create a multi-year financial model that thoughtfully and strategically responds to the evolving needs of a growing student body. This budget reflects the mission and the values of its community with an emphasis on responsible stewardship and sustainable growth. Finally, as a parent of 2 graduates of a K-8 charter school, I'm really excited for the children of North San Mateo County to have the same option that my daughters had.
Deborah Sherwin, Christina Lee, then Grace Sobieski.
In response to the concern about impact to district's finances, those impacts are nonspecific and do not constitute significant harm. All districts take into account projected enrollment in their financial planning. And when declines in enrollment are atypically abrupt, the state's local control funding formula provides ready mechanisms to mitigate that impact. Districts may opt to receive LCFF funding based on the prior year average daily attendance or the 3-year moving ADA rather than the current year ADA, while they make adjustments to long-term projections. The 3-year option is particularly relevant for Pacifica, which has already experienced a net decline of 111 enrolled students following the site reconfiguration that moved the middle schoolers from 2 schools to Ingrid B. Lacey and co-located Ocean Shore to Sunset Ridge campus, leaving a broad swath of families without access to their preferred type of TK through 8 program. Pacifica has already managed through this major transition, and now with efficiently consolidated sites that are staffed to enrollment, the district is well positioned to absorb changes that serve the public schooling needs of its residents.
Christina Lee, Grace Sobieski, and Tarug Knotts.
Good evening, President Torres and trustees. I'm Christina Lee, Ocean Light board member and parent to a 3rd and 6th grader. All of the affected districts will need to make adjustments for reduced enrollment, since average daily attendance, ADA funds, follow students. But the local control funding formula, LCFF, lessens the immediate impact of declined enrollment. Districts receive LCFF funding for the greater of the prior year, current year, or prior 3-year moving ADA. Therefore, next year, any affected school districts could use their pre-Ocean Light ADA for funding purposes and spend that year wisely planning for any anticipated reduced funding in future years. Choosing to be funded with the prior 3-year moving ADA would be particularly helpful to the Pacifica School District because it could take advantage of its higher ADA in the 2023-24 school year before its January 2025 reorganization decision, which drove many families out of the district, a decline of 111 enrolled students or 4 classes. Thank you for your time.
Grace Sobieski, Tarug Knotts, and then Nicole Sashkar.
Hi, my name's Grace Sobieski, and I'm a mom of 4 in Pacifica. I also wanted to emphasize that as a mom of 4, private school is just not accessible to my family, nor is driving 40 minutes to the closest county charter school, and I am desperate for options that meets my children's educational needs. One objection that Pacifica School District has given is that approving Ocean Light would contradict San Mateo County's Office of Education's own fiscal oversight. Our rebuttal to that is that SMCOE's fiscal guidance to Pacifica address that district's specific circumstances, small size, declining enrollment, fixed boundaries, and structural deficits. Those recommendations were appropriate for that context, but with that said, Bayshore School District is a small district that has just 1 school, 360 students. Ocean Light operates under a fundamentally different structure, countywide enrollment access, partnership across jurisdictions, and EdTech back support office, providing fiscal oversight and economies of scale. Our budget's conservative, project and data backed, and our fiscal controls meet the SMCOE's standards. Thank you.
Tarug Knotts, Nicole Sashkar, and Jessica Paul.
Better?
Yes.
I have experience as a CAC rep, a CPAC lead, and a Parents Helping Parents support group mentor. You have heard me beg for help for families. Literally every week I hear Bay Area families desperate to find a school for their neurodivergent or otherwise struggling learners, something other than their local school. Here is a committed group with the energy and 50 years of historical know-how to provide a school that these kids would fit into. A school that's a little bit smaller, a little softer landing, a little more of a communal learning style. It is ready to share the gift with Northern San Mateo County. Not just the educators, but all the families here are ready to be a school village to the families that don't usually have a village. I personally have a middle schooler in a car 2 hours a day to a different public school. He is ready for his less restrictive environment to be closer to home. So are peers like him. Northern San Mateo County is a desert for kids with needs. You know what would be really perfect next to Ocean Light is an adjacent county therapeutic program for younger kids. Ocean Light would hold those children tight.
Nicole Sashkar, Jessica Paul, and Jana Vandenboom.
Hello, my name is Nicole Sakhar, and I speak today as a parent of a high school sophomore in the San Mateo High School District and a neurodiverse third grader in Burlingame School District. I strongly support the proposed charter, not because we're unhappy with our home district, but because some children, like my own third grader, often need a different environment to truly thrive. For us, that perfect fit would cost us at least $4,600. Sorry, my note closed. Before we moved from Pacifica and Ocean Shore, I witnessed my child make tremendous progress, not because her needs disappeared, but because the school, the program, naturally supported her even beyond the context of her IEP. I don't speak for all special education families, but I've seen what becomes possible when students are in a setting that fits their needs. Please approve Ocean Light because children's access to equitable education options that meet their needs shouldn't depend on geography or ability to afford private tuition. Thank you.
Jessica Paul, Jana Vandenboom, followed by Andy Gustafson.
My name is Jessica Paul. I grew up in Pacifica, went through our local schools, and have spent nearly 20 years in education, teaching in both San Francisco and Pacifica. My father was also a Bay Area teacher for 30 years, and through him, my own teaching, and my children's schooling, I've seen how a supportive alternative learning environment can change a child's life. Ocean Light offers another option for students who may not fit within a conventional model, including English language learners, neurodiverse students, and those whose strengths and interests don't always align with traditional expectations. These students often flourish in settings that emphasize relationships, hands-on learning, creativity, and real-world problem solving. When my father passed away, his former students, some from decades earlier, came to share how his belief in them inspired their paths as teachers, engineers, and parents. That kind of lasting impact is what Ocean Light can bring to countless students and families across our county. Ocean Light represents choice, community, and the belief that every child deserves to learn in an environment where they truly feel they belong. I urge you to approve Ocean Light so more students can have that opportunity. Thank you.
Jana Vandenboom, Andy Gustafson, and Erika Torres.
Good evening. My name is Jana, and I'm here to express my strong support for Ocean Light. I was an active parent volunteer at Ocean Shore for 4 years. During that time, I saw firsthand how children truly thrive when learning is project-based, creative, and connected to family and community. Students learn by doing, and parents were an active part of their child's learning. When Ocean Shore moved to the Sunset Ridge campus, something important was lost, not just a program, but a sense of community. It just wasn't the same kind of learning. The hands-on approach that inspired us was missing. We eventually moved our daughter to a private school to keep her engaged, but we would have much rather have stayed in a public school that reflects those same values. Ocean Light will be a school where project-based learning and family engagement are at the heart of education. Please approve Ocean Light so that more families return to public education. Thank you.
Andy Gustafson, Erika Torres, and Becky Haworth.
Hey, y'all, good evening. My name is Andy Gustafson. I am an alum of Ocean Shore class of 94 from back when it was alternative class. My daughter is a current first grader, and I have a soon-to-be TK kid. So thanks for having me and giving me a chance to speak tonight. I want to talk about the strong desire in our community for a program like Ocean Light and why I believe people from all over North San Mateo County will want to attend this school. My family has that long history with Ocean Shore and its commitment to project-based learning and family partnership, so much so that my husband often jokes that he heard how great my elementary school was on our first date. So when I was offered a position at UC Berkeley and we began to prepare to move from Texas to the Bay Area, the first thing we did was register my daughter at Ocean Shore, even before we signed a lease or got quotes for movers. I was saddened to learn that Ocean Shore's family partnership, experiential project-based learning was not going to be continued in the same way it was and had been for 50 years. And I believe Ocean Light is the new school that will allow my child to experience the education I had. Thank you.
Erika Torres, Becky Haworth, and Alex Sobieski.
Hello. Hi, my name is Dr. Erika Torres. Thank you for pronouncing my name. I feel very proud of that. I am a mom to a third grader at Ocean Shore, and I'm also a psychologist. And you know, it's very heavy being here, but I also feel very optimistic about the possibilities of having choices. I'm a San Bruno resident, and I do see the possibilities for us having a more diverse and equitable access to choices in ways that were not accessible to me growing up, because private school was not an option and the public school system was not necessarily what was needed, but was the only choice that I had. And so raising a diverse child and really being empowered to speak about how I want other diverse children to have access to the kind of programming that Ocean Light could provide. I hope that you will consider, despite politics and bureaucracy and everything else, what is good for Northern San Mateo County. Thank you very much.
Becky Howarth, Alex Sobieski, followed by Brennan Pang.
Good evening. My name is Becky Howarth. I'm a teacher and a founding member of Ocean Light. I've spent many years in public education here in San Mateo County, but I no longer teach in the public sector. Educators deserve stability, respect, and professional growth. Protecting teachers means protecting the conditions that let great teaching flourish. When districts close innovative programs, morale suffers and good teachers leave. Ocean Light creates a place where teachers can thrive with the kind of learning that drew them into this profession in the first place. For families, the size of a district holds little meaning. What truly matters is the quality of the teaching and the learning opportunities their chosen school provides. This isn't about replacing teachers, it's about retaining them in public education. Many talented educators leave when they no longer find room to innovate. Ocean Light gives them a reason to stay through professional collaboration, new instructional models, and a shared learning network with the districts. Thank you.
Alex Sobieski, then Brennan Pang, followed by Marguerite Radu.
Hi, I'm here just speaking on behalf of a teacher who's fearful of retaliation within the district. As a current elementary teacher, I've had the privilege of seeing firsthand what makes this program truly special. What stands out most to me is the power of project-based learning. Our students don't just memorize facts, they explore ideas, collaborate, create, and solve problems in ways that make learning real, relevant, and therefore lasting. Watching them take ownership of their learning is one of the most rewarding parts of teaching. Another unique strength of Ocean Light is how parents will be present and involved in the classroom. That partnership creates an incredible sense of community. Students learn life skills like communication, empathy, and teamwork, as well as they see different versions of respect modeled every day. Respect means different things to different people, and this teaches empathy early and practically. I might not be an expert in what makes the perfect public elementary school, but I did attend 4 different elementary schools as a child, and I've worked in 3 as an adult, and I can tell you this will be a special program. Thank you.
Brennan Pang, Margaret Radu, and followed by Ethan Pang.
Good evening to Deputy Superintendent Chavez and President Torres and trustees. I'm reading the statement on behalf of a teacher from Pacifica who fears retaliation. They speak in support of Ocean Light's charter petition. I'm a teacher of the Pacifica School District. Pacifica School District's claim that Ocean Light is a duplication of its current program is false. Ocean Shore School exists only in education code. None of our iconic, thematic, and project-based programs are being brought forward to this current school year. Each turn of events where we try to include our proven, successful practices and programs have been rebuffed and pushed aside due to the current constraints of a huge school with an overworked administration, doing double the work. The Environmental Literacy Program, or Oceans 411, has yet to be discussed this school year by anyone other than the opposers of the program, not by the administrators that would have approved its implementation, nor by the teachers who would participate and run it, and not by the parents who are essential to run the program. Aside from name, Ocean Shore School's project-based and experiential learning no longer exists.
Margaret Radu, Ethan Pang, then Joan Whiteman.
Good evening. My name is Marguerite Rodrigue. I'm a teacher in the Pacifica School District. I'm here tonight to speak not only for myself, but to stand in solidarity with and for my colleagues who do not feel comfortable speaking for themselves. My support for Ocean Light proposal is driven by my professional commitment to the children of San Mateo County to provide the very best that a public school can offer. The multi-age family participation, project-based learning model will build on proven practices that produce engaged, ethical, lifelong learners. I am confident that its environmental education will be second to none. I'm confident that its partnership with multiple districts will further enrich the program. I'm confident that the school will welcome and engage a diverse community across all aspects of its operation. This will be an exceptional place, like no other currently in operation, to teach and learn. My colleagues and I appreciate your thoughtful consideration of this proposal. Thank you.
Ethan Pang, Joan Weidman, followed by Faith Hull.
Hello, my name is Ethan, and I went to Ocean Shore School from kindergarten to 8th grade. Today, I just want to share one of my favorite memories from that time. When my class stayed the night at Fort Ross, it felt like history came alive. The ocean wind whipped through the fort walls, and suddenly we were part of another time. Think night at the museum. We weren't visitors anymore. Now we were hunters, craftspeople, and cooks. Some of us made pickles and jams, while others crafted copper lanterns or planted herbs. Each of us researched and carried out the duties of real people who had worked or lived at the fort. But the most powerful lesson came when we learned about sea otter hunting. The same beautiful coastline we lived beside was once nearly emptied of otters because people didn't understand sustainability. This experience helped me realize that history is more than the past. It's a reminder of how our choices shape the future. This type of learning will stay with me for a lifetime. So please approve Ocean Light so kids can continue to engage in learning like this.
Joan Weidman, followed by Faith Hull, followed by Sandy Mills.
I'm Joan Weideman. I'm a founding member and a former school board member. The Ocean Light School team is comprised of experienced educators, successful administrators, and engaged parents who have run programs like this and know how to sustain them. Collectively, this represents more than a century of experience in project-based and environmental learning. What makes this effort distinctive is that this collective expertise already exists within a functioning community of practice, educators and parents, who have built integrated family partnership programs that have thrived for years. We, the Ocean Light team, are seeking the opportunity to bring that capacity countywide. Our goal is not only to open a school, it is to build a professional learning hub that supports other districts interested in deeper project-based learning, environmental and family integrated education. This petition is about experienced practitioners offering a proven model for the benefit of the families and students in San Mateo County.
Faith Hull, followed by Sandy Mills, and then Eric Chavez.
Good evening, Board of Trustees. My name is Faith Holly. I'm here to speak in support of the petition. I'm speaking to the rebuttal, the notion that Ocean Light's petition fails the countywide test. Countywide charters exist because district boundaries limit access, not because interests must be evenly distributed. California Education Code 47605.6 asks whether a single district charter could serve students as effectively as countywide, and the answer is no. Our model connects families from Daly City, South San Francisco, San Bruno, Colma, Pacifica, Brisbane, and beyond. Communities that share the same unmet need for an environmentally focused TK to 8 project-based public school option. Early interest from Pacifica does not define future enrollment. It reflects where awareness began, but not where opportunity ends. Pacifica community members organized first because they experienced the loss of this learning model firsthand. The benefit of a countywide charter isn't about who heard of it first. It's about everyone who can access it once approved. Thank you.
Sandy Mills, then Eric Chavez, followed by Karen Key.
Good evening. My name is Sandy Mills. I am a science teacher, retired science teacher. I've taught in several counties, several school districts and counties, both in the San Mateo County, Santa Clara County, even the East Bay. And I was a trainer for FOSS Science all over the state. But my earliest days started out as a naturalist in outdoor education. And it was then that I learned that the best way to learn was to be on the trail, outside in the environment, and now the term is place-based learning. And so I fully support this Ocean Light program because I understand that project-based and experiential learning is vital for so many kids for access. And so I urge you to vote in a positive way. Thank you.
Eric Chavez, then Karen Key, followed by Dustin Patnod.
Good evening, trustees. My name is Eric Chavez. I am a resident of Pacifica and former special education teacher at both Sunset Ridge and Ocean Shore. And as one of the founding members of Ocean Light, I'd like to attest to the fact that a lot of thought and care has gone into our educational program, which is not only unique, but sound. Ocean Light weaves environmental stewardship with community and family partnerships with project-based STEAM learning into a cohesive TK through 8 model, not as add-ons as some of our other local districts offer, but as the foundation for how students learn every single day. No existing North County school combines these elements into a comprehensive place-based countywide approach. I'd also like to take my time tonight to reiterate that Ocean Light is committed to meeting the diverse needs of its families through a flexible schedule. Our transitional kindergarten will operate at a half-day academic program with a high-quality extended learning option after school for families who need full-day care. We plan to leverage ELOP funding to provide these wraparound services at low to no cost to any and all qualifying families. Thank you.
Karen Key, Dustin Patnod, followed by Alexandra Cook Milligan.
Thank you, trustees, for bearing with us. It's been a long night. I'm Karen Key. I'm part of the founding team at Ocean Light. And really, I know you've heard a lot about Ocean Shore and all the troubles that's been happening there, but really, 50% of our team have students who have graduated 8th grade and don't have any more students in the district. Our entrance forms come from families across the county: Daly City, South San Fran, Tacoma, Brisbane, Pacifica. Many have never attended Ocean Shore. In fact, a lot of the Pacifica signees are actually TK and K parents who never really interacted with us before. And it's really hard to go to an education, community event and say, come and join the school that has not been approved. So it's hard to do the outreach. And I think once you approve us, we will go out to all these other counties and, really try and look for everybody. But we're not looking to resurrect Ocean Shore. We're looking to provide this new innovative school for Northern San Mateo. So we urge you to approve it. Thank you.
Dustin Patnod, Alexandra Cook Milligan, followed by Stephanie Ching.
Good evening, trustees. I'm a labor relations representative with CSEA. Our union represents over 4,000 classified employees across the county, including in Pacifica, Jefferson Elementary, South San Francisco, San Bruno, Burlingame, and Brisbane. CSEA strongly opposes the granting of this charter petition. We know that siphoning off more students into charter schools will harm our members and the students who they will continue to serve in district schools. Declining enrollment means that districts will struggle to pay classified employees what they deserve. It means districts will struggle to attract and retain highly qualified staff. This matters for the quality of student education. This matters for our members whose children go to the same public schools they serve. This matters for the economic and educational well-being of San Mateo County. I urge you to oppose Ocean Light's petition.
Alexandra Cook Milligan, then Stephanie Ching, followed by Fran Dickinson.
Hi, my name is Alexandra Cook Milligan. Thank you for listening to us tonight. We really appreciate it. With my full chest, please let this amazing group of people do their thing. I trust them wholeheartedly. I'm an alum of the Sharp Park Alternative School. I was so lucky, jumping up and down with excitement, that my oldest got into Ocean Shore. Wasn't the same, but it was the building blocks and then better. And as I'm studying what Ocean Light is doing, I can see again that it's okay, it's building blocks, but it's different. It's so much better. They are taking a proven model and making it reach farther. Like if they had just kept it within Pacifica, that would have been a disservice to the county. This is the school that children deserve. I'm a marriage and family therapist. I'm all about feelings. I'm listening closely, paying attention. And I can say I am really disappointed with what the district did last year. And while we debate charter schools, private institutions are laughing their way to the bank. I watched friends leave, and it was heartbreaking. And what I want to do with my deep philosophical belief in public education coming from a family of public educators is to keep the money public. And while we do this, we are hemorrhaging students to private institutions. I think everyone in this room can agree that public education.
We are
is
at time.
Thank you.
Stephanie Ching, Fran Dickinson, followed by Stephanie Sugawara.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie. I'm a parent of 3 children who have all experienced and thrived under the project-based learning model at Ocean Shore School. My children, like so many other children, learn best in a hands-on learning environment when they are collaborating with their peers, when they can explore the world around them and ask questions. Ocean Light will provide that kind of learning environment. Pacifica School District claims that they already provide what Ocean Light will offer, but that is not true. As an active parent volunteer regularly at school and a PTO board member, I am experiencing firsthand that our district does not value this learning model and is not providing the encouragement or support to continue project-based learning at our co-located site. In fact, because Ocean Shore and Sunset Ridge have mixed classes, we are now functioning as more of a merger versus a co-location, making it incredibly challenging to continue the programs that my children have thrived in. This is why I strongly encourage you to approve Ocean Light's petition so that my children and all children in North San Mateo County can have this choice.
Fran Dickinson, Stephanie Shigawara, followed by Kathleen Beeve.
Good evening, trustees, and thanks for the time. My name is Fran Dickinson. I'm the executive director at San Carlos Charter. I'm here because I'm genuinely excited about Ocean Light School, and that excitement comes from 30 years of experience watching progressive education transform students' lives. Ocean Light embodies the same successful approaches that have made San Carlos Charter thrive for 3 decades. Inquiry-driven learning, project-based curriculum, and true community support. There's a beautiful connection here too. Back in the early 1990s, our San Carlos Charter founders visited Ocean Shore, sorry, it's late, in Pacifica while drafting California's first charter school petition. Now Ocean Light is carrying forward that Ocean Shore legacy, and it feels like we've come full circle. North San Mateo County currently has no elementary charter school option. Families there deserve this choice. Ocean Light's founding team has the experience, the vision, and the heart to succeed. Their environmental focus is exactly what today's students need. I urge you to approve this petition, give North County families the mission-based, innovative public school option they've been waiting for. Thank you.
Stephanie Shigawara, Kathleen Beebe, followed by Sheila Gamble-Dorn.
Good evening, President Torres and trustees. I am a mother of 2 little ones, and tonight I want to express my strong support for Ocean Light. I am thrilled that there may be an option for a TK-8 school near or around my home in South San Francisco. Like all parents, I want my children to grow up in a safe and stable learning environment. A TK-8 will illuminate the potentially disruptive and stressful transition to middle school. It will also foster strong relationships, connections, and bonds between peers and adults that comes with this type of school. As my children grow with the school, they will learn firsthand how to become leaders and role models for younger students, which will stick with them their entire lives. Ocean Light will engage students with project-based learning and collaboration between parents and teachers. This hands-on learning approach is exactly what I want for my children. I believe this public TK-8 school will be a powerful addition to the school choices I have near and around my home and for the entire San Mateo County. Thank you.
Kathleen Beebe, followed by Sheila Gamble-Dorn, and then Marie.
President, I am Kathleen Beebe, the CTA staff person.
Could you speak into the microphone, please?
I am the CTA staff person assigned to Pacifica and the impacted districts. I make no mistake, CTA supports charter schools and students and teachers. and Don Burdette, Ocean Board member, assured me on Monday that they would want CTA in there for the teachers. Therefore, I want to be very clear about CTA's objection to this application. One, the misrepresentation of the academics of the impacted districts, which has been pointed out, and that the outlined intention is not to offer equitable admission, but rather is to set up an exclusive system of preference for the Pacifica signatories of the application. And secondly, the devastation such a charter will have on those students deemed not qualified as exclusive candidates means fewer resources and teachers. And because of the charter drain on the already minimalist funding of these impacted districts, really hope that the board considers much of what's been presented here, including the hope of what
We are at time.
Thank you.
Sheila Gamble Dorn, followed by Marie, then Tanya Guido.
Good evening, trustees. I'm Sheila Gamble Dorn. I'm a former retired teacher from Ocean Shore School. I coordinated their ocean literacy program. And I understand, and of course, all the districts have really excellent programs. The difference is that while districts may touch on environmental topics through NGSS standards, Ocean Light makes environmental literacy and community stewardship a lens through which students learn all subjects. Our ocean literacy program was unique and was given the Jefferson Award. And it was because the students are immersed in the study of different ocean habitats, and the middle school students run the activities on the school site and the beach. This is the importance of a K-8 program. Families are seeking this integrated approach, a school where environmental values, family partnership, and project-based learning are the core, not extras. We're not competing with districts. We're expanding the range of public education options available to families. Thank you.
Marie, followed by Tanya Guido, then Tony Reinhardt.
I'm actually reading on behalf of Marie. My name is Marie. I am a parent to a fourth grader. When our child started school, we enrolled them in a traditional school setting in Daly City. That was not the right decision for our child. They were not happy at school, and they would come home crying, saying that they did not want to go back. After struggling every single day for 2 years, we decided to look for other public school options. This is when we found Ocean Shore School. The project-based, hands-on, cross-age learning was a phenomenal fit for our child. School became fun. They looked forward to school and learning every single day. We felt connected to a larger community that was caring and supportive. What I learned from this experience is that not every student learns the same way, and not all schools work for every student. Ocean Light will bring to San Mateo County families a public school option with an alternative education setting. It would be a great disservice to families to withhold this option. This option shouldn't be available to those that live in Pacifica. Doesn't
We are
every
at time.
child deserve the right to learn in an environment that works for them?
Tanya Guido, followed by Tony Reinhardt, then Jonathan Markham.
I'm speaking on behalf of a former student, Marianne Knox. I am 18 and neurodivergent. I attended a school similar to Ocean Light from kindergarten through 6th grade. I liked my teachers, I liked the parents of my classmates. Even if I wasn't super popular and sometimes had a hard time, I still felt like I had friends because us kids would talk in class, go on lots of field trips together. I still think of that school like it was a family, and I am glad to see people once a year at our KOA event. I had some things go on in later middle school and early high school, so I was no longer part of that community, and I can tell the difference between the school like Ocean's Light and my current school. My brother has to ride in a car for 2 hours a day to another public school so that he can meet his needs. I think that he and kids like him would be helped by a school like Ocean Light.
Tony Reinhardt, followed by Jonathan Markham, followed by Wiley Clothier.
Hi, my name is Tony Reinhardt. I am a father, a member of the community. Thank you to the members of the board and the community for me to talk. I've reviewed the arguments presented against the establishment of the Ocean Light Charter School in northern San Mateo County. These objections generally fall into 4 categories: funding for existing school districts, countywide need, curriculum differentiation, and existing project-based model. At their core, these objections reflect a desire to preserve the natural monopoly of traditional school districts. They are rooted not in educational outcomes, but in the fear of competition. Ocean Light would be a public charter. That means that it has the same floor as everybody else, regardless of cost for the individual. That leads to choice. And ultimately, that's what parents want. They want choice. When parents can choose among strong public options, all schools, districts, and charter alike must continually improve. Competition compels innovation, responsiveness, and accountability. It ensures that districts cannot simply assume their current offers are good enough. Instead, they must strive to be excellent because families are watching and they have options. Even if Ocean
We
Light
are
model,
at time.
I implore you to approve.
Jonathan Markham, followed by Wiley Clothier, and then Danielle Lee.
My name is Jonathan Markham. I'm a resident of Pacifica, and I would like to urge the trustees to vote in favor of the petition for Ocean Light School, because I believe that, as well as all of the amazing educational advantages that you've heard described, you will, by passing it, give an important, very important message to the public. A message that we can trust the public schools and the local government institutions to make decisions that really demonstrate that they put the educational opportunities of our children and our families first, recognizing that our children flourish in a variety of educational settings rather than protecting systems that have shown themselves to be broken and are urgently in need of change. Thank you.
Wiley Clothier, followed by Danielle Lee, and then Carla Torres.
Good evening, trustees. I am a San Mateo County public school educator in my 28th year, a staunch union member. And so believe me, when I say it takes an exceptional and unique program such as Ocean Light to bring me to speak on behalf of a charter school petition on a school night. Why? Simply put, families in San Mateo County deserve to have access to a school like Ocean Light, a place where students will be immersed in a deeply rich and experiential program that will spark curiosity and ignite a lifelong love for learning. How do I know this? Because I am a product of a robust experiential program myself from Illinois, and this model is completely transformational. While I know county public schools are doing their best to provide field trips, community gardens, and I heard a lot of accolades tonight that are super impressive, the pedagogical foundation of Ocean Light is experiential and project-based, where students might have 8 to 10 immersive interdisciplinary learning experiences outside the classroom in just 1 year. This is very different than what our current public schools can offer our county. Ocean Light is thoughtfully planned. It's supported by passionate teachers and parents dedicated to providing an alternate model, a choice for our county's families. So please vote yes. Thank you.
Danielle Lee, followed by Carla Torres, followed by Judy Lee.
Hi there, I'm Danielle, and I'm the parent of a neurodiverse first grader and a resident of San Bruno. Families in North San Mateo County have very limited access to K-8 schools. In fact, San Bruno doesn't have a single public K-8. The K-8 model offers stability and continuity during the most critical years of a child's development. That consistency is especially meaningful for children who benefit from consistent relationships and a strong sense of community. My son thrives in experiential learning environments that nurture curiosity and connection, and it's given him confidence. A K-8 charter like Ocean Light builds on these principles, giving families in our area a much-needed choice. A whole child, community-based school where students can grow academically, socially, and emotionally. Ocean Light would only strengthen our local educational landscape with this in-demand option. Thank you.
Carla Torres, followed by Judy Lee, followed by Alexander Gann.
Good evening, President Torres, Deputy Superintendent Chavez, and members of the board. My name is Dr. Carla Chavez Torres, and I am here representing myself, but have been an employee of the Pacifica Schools District since July 2021. Pacifica recently conducted a community feedback survey and received 559 responses. Of responded, 74.6 were parents and 15.4 were staff. Overall awareness of the countywide charter application was 75.6%. Importantly, 82.5 said they did not participate in Ocean Light's separate inter-survey conducted in Pacifica. In terms of perceived needs, 66.7% reported they do not see a need for a charter school in or near Pacifica, and 64.2% said Pacifica Schools District's current programming meets their families' needs. Taken together, this feedback indicates strong support for the district's existing programs and limited community demand for a new charter. For Pacifica, even a modest enrollment shift would have an immediate and significant impact on our funding, on our general fund.
We are at time.
Thank you.
Judy Lee, followed by Alexander Gann, and our last card, Julie Ulmer.
Good evening. Ocean Light integrates a curriculum of environmental sciences with project-based learning, which connects STEAM, sustainability, and stewardship with real-world impact. But just as important as what is taught is who has access to it. While there are other K-8 charter schools in San Mateo County, many are located in more affluent areas. Working class and immigrant families in northern San Mateo County deserve the opportunity to the same access to this kind of specialized and mission-driven school. Additionally, Ocean Light's pillar on parent participation is one of its greatest draws. My children's previous school, where parent involvement was also built into the curriculum, showed me how children can thrive when families are truly integrated into the learning community. It builds stronger relationships, greater accountability, and a shared sense of purpose. San Mateo County has always been forward-thinking. Let's continue that legacy by supporting a school that reflects the values we want to pass on. I want my children not just to be consumers of the world, but to be stewards of it. Thank you.
Alexander Gann, followed by Julie Ulmer.
Good evening. I'm a working class parent living in Daly City. I grew up in New York in the 90s and was fortunate enough to attend a public magnet school, an experience that opened doors for me and helped shape my future. Ocean Light, like the magnet school I attended, offers a specialized educational focus that will give my kids experiences beyond the traditional classroom and classmates from a diverse background. I'm excited that Ocean Light will focus on environmental education and project-based learning. By incorporating it into the charter of the school, these tenets will be fundamental to the classroom experience at Ocean Light, not just optional features for teachers to incorporate or not, as it is at other schools. And honestly, we really need to do what we can to emphasize kids learning environmental sciences. But what I really like is that the Ocean Light School will be open to families like mine in Daly City. It's rare to find a public school that offers this kind of unique opportunity. I urge you to support this charter. Thank you.
And Julie Ulmer.
Thank you. Good evening. I am a Pacifica resident, parent, and past teacher. I also have the privilege of teaching third grade at Skyline Elementary, just blocks from the proposed Ocean Light Charter School, whose petition I oppose because of the harm it could do to our community. I am an innovative educator and parent. I strive to model resilience through change and challenge. Ocean Shore's closure is our chance to unite and strengthen our existing schools. I've taught in Pacifica schools before joining South San Francisco Unified School District, where I now work in a community that reflects the diversity and strength of our North County neighborhoods. Our schools thrive when we work together, sharing resources, supporting one another, and building a collective vision for all students. Ocean Light risks dividing that effort and redirecting resources for those who need them most. For the sake of all students in San Mateo County, I strongly urge you to deny the Ocean Light Charter petition. Our public schools are the heart of our community, and they deserve your protection and support. Thank you, and thank you for being
President Torres, we do have a raised hand in Zoom. Is that
Okay. Yes.
So we have Megan McKenna.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my comment. First, I want to note that the survey Dr. Torres referenced was sent out to parents enrolled in Parent Square just 36 hours ago with the guise of being a basis for district discussions. It was hardly scientific and it was not in depth. It was yes or no questions. Families everywhere leave public school districts every year because a school doesn't fit their child all over the country. Even with top-rated, top-funded schools, they face this issue. To say that a charter will take funding away from any school or a district is malarkey. The funding note follows the child. We all know this. They do not bring money into a school. Kids are not a commodity. They're little humans. And what we really need to do is create an environment where they can all learn the best that they can learn and thrive. We cannot say a district is perfect for a child in any of these areas. This charter will open up the doors for so many. Please consider approving the charter. Thank you.
One other hand, Danish Raman.
Hi.
Hello, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to provide my support for the Ocean Light School. I am a parent of a 4-year-old. I'm living in San Bruno. I've heard a lot of points, a lot of good points about supporting Ocean Light. I just want to say that from San Bruno, we have done a lot of an effort to try and understand the curriculum, and I can understand change is different, change is difficult, but the curriculum and the focus for project-based learning has been such an eye-opening what we want for the future of our children. So I hope the board member please consider that from us. Thank you.
I don't see any other raised hands.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, I want to just say how proud I am of our youth for advocating, and whether they spoke or just showed up, it's incredible to always see them be here. Second, I know it's very difficult to condense your thoughts down to 1 minute, so thank you for keeping within the time limits. Makes my job easier. But that being said, if you did not get a chance to share everything, you are always welcome to email us. Our emails are on the county website. And please know that I am reading every single letter. If you already emailed me, you don't need to email me again, but you are more than welcome to if you feel obligated to. Lastly, as we continue, I know some folks will be exiting. Just a reminder that we still have a meeting to continue and finish off in here, and we can hear everything out there. So thank you. Having received comments from staff, the Ocean Light School petitioners, the affected school districts, and the public, the board now closes this public hearing. The board will reconvene and act on this request at its meeting on December 17th, 2025. Any further deliberations by the board prior to acting on this matter will be in conformance with all requirements of the Brown Act, and this hearing is now closed. We are moving on to item 7A, which is superintendent comments. Deputy Superintendent Chavez, do we have any comments to share?
No comments this evening.
Thank you. For item 8A, when an ad hoc subcommittee meets or a representative attends a meeting related to their given assignment, board members may choose to bring a report to the board at this time. Would any board members like to report out? Okay, I am seeing none. Are there any comments or questions from the board? Trustee O'Neill?
I just have a question. We just got this schedule, in our packet here, and this capacity interview as part of this. What is that?
That would be a conversation between the petitioners and staff to ask maybe some questions that were raised here that we'll bring back, as well as questions that surface through our analysis.
Okay, so the board doesn't need to be involved there at all. Okay, I just wanted for calendar purposes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if you have questions, you can email them to
Yes.
Trustees, if
Attorney
you have
Choi.
any questions that you would like us to pose at the capacity interview, please feel free to send those along. Don't CC one another. It would just come to myself and Marco. Yeah, sure. For the capacity interview, it's really an opportunity for the county office staff to ask questions of the petitioners. So if there was anything that was unanswered tonight, you're welcome to add your questions to that, and then we'll present that during that interview with the petitioner.
Trustee Bonini?
Oh, I'm not looking at the agenda. Can you state when the, excuse me, when that capacity interview is?
Yeah, I believe it's in our board packet, correct? That we have capacity interview, or it's been shared also with the petitioners that we're meeting with them on October 30th.
October 30th, you're correct.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? Oh, Trustee Love? Yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm at the ad hoc subcommittees, yes. Any comments from the public? Thank you. There is no action to take on this item. For item 8B, board members will comment. Trustee Love?
Yes, thank you. I noticed that we received a letter from Carissa Bauman from Pacifica School District about a housing proposal, I believe it is. Just yesterday, it just kind of got lost. I mean, put in with everything else. Is this something we're going to follow up on, or the committee is going to follow up on?
Yes, so this has been sent to the county office staff for them to respond.
Okay, thanks.
Trustee Bonini?
These are just our final comments, right? Okay, sorry. Well, first, I just want to thank all of the comments from this evening. I think I logged about 87 emails that I received as well. So thank you for all of those to the public. I've read them all. I have not responded to them, but I have read them. So thank you for the, sharing more information tonight. I just wanted to share that I was able to visit the special services programs at El Portal and Palos Verdes on the 10th, and also Canyon Oaks with Trustee Love, and that was really great. So thank you so much to Jesus Jimenez and Tammy Ziegler, who helped at special services. And as far as my area, I was really excited to be able to visit Baywood Elementary School yesterday in San Mateo, Foster City. That was great. There were many parents there. They have shifted to doing their visits to community visits. And so they invite the public, whether it's volunteers at school or other agencies or sometimes our county office to come. So that was really great. And then just finally, I'm looking forward to more visits. So hoping that in the next week or two, we'll have more of those. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Trustee O'Neill? Thank you. Trustee Alvaro?
I just have one thing, thank you. I wanted to ask, I already talked to President Torres about this, that I would like to adjourn in memory of Bill Burns if we can. Bill died about 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was 84 years old. When he did teacher corps in Indiana, which is kind of like Teach America. And then he came here. He took a job with San Mateo County Office of Ed in 1969. And he was working to help non-graduates earn their GED equivalency. He then was the coordinator of Career Prep Center, helping what we then called high-risk youth. In 82, he worked with this county office and probation and created the county's first community schools program for wards of the court. In 86, he oversaw 3 community schools and a mobile van to visit pregnant teens who couldn't come to school. Those continued for a very long time until we merged them all into what is now Gateway. In 92, he was named administrator of court and community schools and continued to work with us. He retired in 97, so I only had the privilege of working with him for about 3 years. But then he went to work after his retirement. He went to work with Project Read in Redwood City Library and became a part-time jail instructor teaching parenting skills and poetry writing course to the men and women in the county's jails. He was an exceptional person. He was an exceptional administrator, an exceptional teacher, and I would respectfully like to adjourn in his memory. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Gerard?
Yes, just very briefly, thank you to everyone that spoke this evening. I also have reviewed all the letters or emails, I should say, that we received. Some of them I did acknowledge and others I have just read and didn't, but I do want people to know that we're listening. And I am in full support of remembering Bill Burns. He was an exceptional person, and I feel very blessed to have known him, as Susan has just stated. He did some amazing work and really set some high standards for things for our community school kids and kids that were at risk. So thank you.
Thank you. My only comments are to thank our county office staff for being here with us, for the setup, for all the logistics and organization of everything, to the setup, to the tech, to the layouts, and just working with our community members. So thank you so much. We really cannot do that without you. And for item 9, the adjournment tonight, we adjourn our meeting in memory of former SMCOE staff member William Burns Jr., who worked to create the county's first community schools programs. And I want to thank Trustee Alvaro for bringing this forward. So tonight, we adjourn our meeting in honor of a dedicated educator and beloved community member, William, also known as Bill Burns Jr., who passed away peacefully in his home on September 27th, 2025. Bill was born in 1941 in San Francisco. He graduated from Campbell High School and then earned his bachelor's degree and teaching credential at San Jose State University. Bill dedicated his life to helping others, especially the underprivileged, to improve their lives. He took a job with the county office in 1969, helping graduates attain GED equivalency certificates, and he also served as the coordinator of the Career Preparation Center, helping at-risk youth. Bill worked to create the county's first community schools program for wards of the court and oversaw the community schools and a mobile van to visit pregnant teens unable to attend school. After his retirement, Bill returned to his love of teaching and poetry and was hired by Project Read at the Redwood City Library. He became a part-time jail instructor teaching parenting skills and a poetry writing course to the men and women in the county jails. We extend our heartfelt condolences to Bill's wife, Peggy, and all who knew and loved him. Tonight, we honor Bill Burns' memory and his lifelong commitment to learning. So the next regular meeting will be our governance workshop on Wednesday, November 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And this meeting is now adjourned.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.
Good night.